All right. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Rocking and rolling and whatnot. Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. Great to see so many wonderful, beautiful, fantastic people here. Once again, as always, best fans in the world. Hello and welcome to the show. Oh, crap. My head's cut off. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Good morning and welcome to the show on this beautiful Thursday morning. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's so great to be here and to see you people here. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women and children of all ages, let me tell you something. Wait a minute. There's some noise in my headphones. I'm not sure what it is. I have an incoming transmission. It seems to be coming from ladies and gentlemen, it's coming from Black. What's up, Black?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Great to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right, Blackheart Night. Yesterday, the last couple of days, I've been talking about the whole Audit Them versus Blackheart Night deal. And I know Blackheart watches my show, so I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool if he came up here so we could actually talk about it. And he was like, okay. So,
Yeah.
Blackheart, welcome. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm off from work today because schools were canceled due to the weather around here. So I emailed Hez last night about it. Was like, I watched what you said, and you wanted me up, so I was like, okay, I'll come on up.
Yeah, why not? And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, if you don't know, on my Saturday show, I always have a different guest every week. And Blackheart Night is like, I think he's either tied for first place or in second place for the most appearances on my show ever. Ladies and gentlemen, great supporter of the channel. We love Blackheart. Round of applause for Blackheart Night.
Yay!
I forgot I got this new sound clip. 3 cheers for Blackheart Night.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So let's see who's all here today. Look, we got Highway Star was first, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Highway Star his happy hands. All right. Thank you so much. Good morning, Hez the Fez. That's right. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see who else is here so far today joining us. We got Rube Maximilian, our resident janitor. What's up? Good morning, Hez, and the rest of the Rash family from the West Coast. That's the place to be, unless you don't like it there, then to go somewhere else. Like here in the Midwest. Highway Star, Rube Maximilian. Griffey's here all the way from Australia. That's right. Quokkas and kangaroos. That's what I'm talking about. Quokkas, kangaroos, and crocodiles. The 3 C's of Australia. We got little Chihuahua, of course. What's up, little Chi?
Hey, Chihuahua.
Star Griffey. And Anna's in the house. Hey, yes. All right. And Anna's in the house. Yeah. Yeah. If there's any of these greetings you want to do, of course, feel free to jump in anytime. Oh, this guy's here. The tyrannical.
You're not last Frauditor Mania. I was last before you.
That's right. CyberX is here. Hello, everyone. Love and hugs. That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing better than that. Let's see. Nana, Blackheart, Griffey, Little Chi. Oh, this guy's here too. Yeah, that's right. Blackheart Night, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Yeah. That dude that audited them seems to have a fetish for. Yeah. He's well, all right, I guess.
Yeah, he's all right. He's way better than that News Now Dumas guy. Christopher O'Connor is not first. All right. Let's see. Rooster Cogburn, Griffey, Highway Star, Robert Thomas. Good morning. Happy Friday evening. That's right. Today's Thursday. It's almost Friday. We got the weekend coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Cool Clear in the house. Great to have you here as always. Have you ever heard Clear Water talk, Blackheart?
No, I haven't. No, I have not.
His voice, like, it's like butter. He's got one of those deep, like radio voices. Like it's just so I could listen to the guy talk for hours. His voice is just so smooth. It's like, hey, I mean, I can't do it because it's so great, but he's awesome.
I wish I had a Paul Harvey kind of voice.
Yeah. There are certain. Well, that was one of the things. Honestly, I think that was one of the things that made Schrodinger so great. Besides the fact that he was good at what he did, but just his voice alone, you could listen to that guy talk forever. You know what I mean? He just had that kind of voice, and some people just do. Alan Hunt is here. There we go. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let's see who else. And actually, with that, I think we're caught up for now. So, thank you, Cool Clearwater. You're welcome. So anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, there's been this whole sort of beef building between Blackheart and Audit them for a while, and we wanted to talk about it. Now, I know that you just put out another video about it last night. So, do you want to discuss it for a while and then watch the video, or do you want to start with the video and then come up and
let's go ahead and start the video first, and then we'll discuss it afterwards, because as somebody who's in the teaching profession yourself, you just might appreciate what I have to say. So roll that beautiful bean footage.
All righty, let's go ahead and get that going. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch the new Blackheart Night video about him and Audit them, and then we're going to discuss the whole thing afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Heart Night. All right.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. You know, we need to have a discussion. This is becoming really difficult for me. The constant cry for attention, the constant whining, the constant moaning coming from Goat Boy has become a burden on my shoulders that I can no longer handle. So, here's the deal. You know, I really think that it's time that I admit that I did something wrong here, that I made a mistake. Yeah, a big mistake. And I think I'll rectify that mistake here in just a moment. These are pretty much all videos I have on you, Goat Boy. So, here's the thing. I may just go ahead and... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Never mind. That's not how I operate. I'm not going to delete them at all. You see, Goat Boy, these 4 videos right here pretty much represent the extent of my library on you. 4 videos out of nearly 2,000. And you're upset by that. Let's take a quick look at my Sovereign Citizen collection of videos right quick. This one I just posted. It hasn't been put up yet. It's scheduled for release later today. But let's take a look at this. 324 videos dedicated to sovereign citizens on my list right here. You don't even make up a small percentage of the sovereign citizen list alone, nor do you make up a significant portion of my Frauditor list as well. I mean, if I just type in the word Frauditor, I've got well over 500 listings for Frauditor in my in my collection right here. Now that we have taken care of that little bit of BS right there, let me get on into the mistake that I actually made dealing with Goat Boy. And that mistake was this. You see, I was trying to deal with him in a very specific way, because when somebody comes up and threatens you like he did, you tend to stand your ground and, well, not budge or anything like that. But that was the wrong approach with him. You see, I figured something out with him, and that standing your ground approach really doesn't work with this person, because, well, he's not exactly an adult. He's more of a childlike personality. In fact, it's been suggested to me that he is a high-functioning autistic, which explains certain traits that I've noticed about him, such as his perseverations, basically his inability to move past certain thoughts or actions. Basically, he is constantly pointing out this one point that he thinks I got wrong, but he is unable to move past it. That's one of many signs of autism. Now, if it were one of my students, I would simply redirect his focus onto something else, give him an activity or something to that nature. But seeing as how I'm not directly dealing with him, that's not entirely possible. Even the token economy, I would have to be in his presence to use, and it's worked on several of the autistic students that I work with on a daily basis. But yeah, you still have to be in their presence. So, what is the best way to handle this particular case of autism? Since I am not in his presence, perhaps a behavioral extinction through the method of planned ignoring. For example, you've got a student that is throwing a temper tantrum on the floor. What do? Well, any teacher within the special education community would know that you don't deal with that student. You walk around them, let them have their tantrum, and you deal with other students that need your help. Now, there are several scenarios that could develop from this particular situation. There is a possibility it could degenerate into a complete violent episode, which I have seen on a few occasions. And then there's what happens the majority of the time where the student eventually runs out of energy and goes back to their desk like nothing happened. Over time, the student eventually learns that they can't get your attention through this kind of behavior, causing behavioral extinction. The behavior that the antecedent behavior eventually goes away in a lot of cases. Not all, but a lot of cases that happens. So let me explain the connection here. You've got a student, a child, in this case, Goat Boy, whose behavior is that of a spoiled, petulant little child who wants to get his way, but the adult in the room isn't going to give him what he wants. In this case, the child wants this teacher to remove something from the environment, maybe a few books or something like that, that he doesn't like, but all the other students seem to like. So what does Goat Boy do? Well, he throws a tantrum. He threatens. He does all this kind of thing. Take it from me, Goat Boy. I've been in this teaching profession for a few years now as a paraprofessional. You don't scare me, boy. I've had to deal with students who are twice my size, who are pretty much autistic as well, just like you are. Only they didn't have the ability to control their violent streak, and I had to help them control it, even if it meant trying to avoid headbutts and everything like that from a 300-pound student. And I got very good at catching the head of a student who was trying that on me. Not always the funnest thing to do, but very interesting to see. So now we have a Goat Boy on the floor throwing a tantrum. What do? Well, we ignore him. We go deal with other people that need our attention. And when Goat Boy finally runs out of energy, he'll go back to his own table and do his crafts and everything like that, and probably learn something from it. I don't know. But eventually the behavior will go away if you ignore the tantrums long enough. Because you know what? Your little tantrums here and there are just like the tantrums I deal with on a daily basis with seeing a child on the floor throwing a temper tantrum because they can't get their way. Oh my, dude. That's how I'm going to deal with it. I'm just going to ignore you while you throw your little temper tantrum, not make any more videos about you until you decide that you want to come out and talk to me like a normal person. So you can sit there in your little corner, throw your little temper tantrum, call me names and everything like that. And I'll be just over here like, okay, whatever. Do your own thing over there. Have your tantrum and be done with it. So, Goat Boy, as of this moment, you're pretty much on my ignore list. Like I tried to have you on there before because you know what? You don't matter to me. So at any rate, guys, I hope you enjoyed whatever this was I concocted to try to make Goat Boy look like a, well, whatever he is. He might be autistic, he might not be, but that's what I've heard through the grapevine, that he's a high-functioning autistic. But in the end, it doesn't really matter because all he's doing is throwing a temper tantrum because I won't comply with his demands. And so I guess I will see you guys on the next one.
All right, I was muted. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen,
What are your thoughts
that was
on that,
Blackheart Knight
there?
with his latest update on the audit them situation. Well, I'll tell you, I like the way that you broke it down. First of all, the fact that he's already been trying to paint this picture that you just won't face him because you're a coward, and you're pretty much setting the record straight there. Like, he's acted like a kid having a temper tantrum. This is what I do for a living, is I deal with kids who do that, and he's acting exactly the way they do. So I'm just going to do what's the best thing to do. Let them have their tantrum and just ignore it. It's not that you're a coward and you don't want to. It's, look, you're acting like a petulant child, an autistic child. I know, because, again, that's what I work with every day. So I know exactly what you're doing. And that's the same thing they do. So the best way to deal with it is to just let them get it out of their system. And then if you want to talk to me when you calm down, then maybe we can have a discussion. But right now, I'm just going to ignore it. I think it's great. And I love the way that you broke it down there. You know, then, of course, he's going to, like you said, and that's what's great about it, too, because you said this. You're like, what I concocted. Because that's exactly how he's going to try to spin it.
Yeah. What I concocted. He's going to try to use that, but whatever. I've heard that he thinks that I'm watching his live streams while they're live. I don't have time for that. I work 10 hours a day. I come home at 5 p.m. I do my videos, and then I spend the rest of my time not really paying much of attention to YouTube. He's not on my mind, but me, I'm probably living rent-free in his head right now. I'm heard somebody say, maybe it was you or something like that, that apparently I called the police on him. What? That'd be news to me, considering I've never called the police on anybody. I mean, the dude's insane.
Right.
And he just might be Asperger's, high functioning autistic, or anything like that. I mean, it's just stupid and not worth my time or effort.
It really is. And, right. And, like, because the thing is, first of all, you're right. The way he does his lives, and especially, like, he's been doing a lot of them, like, late at night. Like, who with a full-time job is up till 4 a.m. watching this idiot make phone calls or complain about you? Because that's what he does on his nightly live streams. He makes phone calls to, he just calls any random building that's like a state-owned thing, whether it's a DMV or a city hall or whatever, and he just makes random calls, and when they're closed, and leaves messages saying, "Hi, I'm here." And he doesn't say, "I'm calling to put in a FOIA request." No, he calls and says, "Hi, this law says that you must give me my FOIA, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you where to email it. Now do it, and send me everything that's ever been done and any record you have, period, ever." Click. And then calls again. And then, like, see, guys, that's how you do it, man. Like, it's insane. And then if he's not doing that, he's complaining about you.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything to him besides make a couple videos. And I've made, yesterday I looked at my list of Joey Surreal Camera, and I had 34 videos on him, and I've never heard him complain about me. He just does his own thing.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
he's just too obsessive.
It's weird, too. Well, that's the thing. It's like there's certain things, and I was Jason Government. I was talking to you about this a little bit before we went on the air. It's this idea that, like, he does get obsessive with these things, like prominently displayed. How many of his videos does he walk into a building and he goes, "You have to have your stuff prominently displayed. This law says prominently displayed, prominently displayed." It's like he says that so much. He's so obsessed with the idea of everyone having the information that's supposed to be prominently displayed. And what's interesting about what we just watched with the video you made and what you pointed out, and I hadn't thought of this way until just now with talking to you and everything, is I always thought of it as not like an obsessive thing with him. Now that you pointed that out, and I think about the way he's acting with you and the way he does, it's like it is an obsessive thing. But I always thought of it as just he realized that most, not all, I shouldn't even say most, but that in general, when you walk into a place that isn't the type of place where you normally would go to fill a FOIA, right? Because he'll go to any state building to fill a FOIA. when you walk into a place where that's not a standard thing that they deal with on a daily, they have it prominently displayed. So I thought he was just using that as a gotcha. But now I'm thinking, no, he's freaking obsessed with it.
Hey, Graham, yes, I did see your last email. I still need to get back with you on that. So basically, yeah, Graham and I have got something going on that we think is going to be good for your Saturday show. So,
Mullen the Hole wants to know if Hez or Dummy Kruger would check into Taco Terry and Angry Vet. Yeah, I don't know much about what's going on with that. This is another thing too. Like, you know, those of you who've been following the show probably are already well aware. But even though I took a week off during my move, and I've been doing the show, you know, last week and this week, the fact of the matter is, last week where my kids were on spring break, so they were actually staying here with me the whole week. So really, I've had almost zero time for anything on YouTube at all. So I'm really still just getting caught up on what's all been going on the last few weeks, almost the last month at this point.
now there's another trait that
So
I've
I
noticed
don't know
with
much about that
some of the
story.
autistic students that I deal with is that they all have to have order in their lives. It's got to be a specific way. They're OCD about these specific ways. One student I deal with, he's got a what was it? He's got to be on time. He's got to be on time all the time. He doesn't like to wait. Um, and then there's another one who but another one who's definitely obsessed with time. But it's one of those traits with autism where they've got to have everything orderly, everything in a specific way. Which, like you pointed out with Goat Boy, he wants all those what was it that you said? All those pamphlets out there and everything like that. He wants that order.
Well, okay,
yeah,
so yeah.
Go ahead.
When you walk into a place where FOIAs are actually a regular part of what they deal with on a daily, when you walk into any government building like that, when you first walk in, one of the first things you see is they'll have certain things posted, the budget, how much money they'll be right there, out there, prominently displayed where anyone could see it. That's what he's talking about. And there is part of the FOIA law that requires they do that. So technically, any place that's a government building is supposed to do that. Realistically, we know that if you go in the DMV, you're going there to get your license or to get your license plate or whatever. You're not going in there to request a FOIA. So they're probably not going to have all the FOIA stuff prominently displayed on the wall where anyone could see it because nobody cares at the DMV. But he'll go in there and say, oh, it's not prominently displayed. I could request a FOIA here. So any building where you technically can request a FOIA, he has to have the FOIA information prominently displayed. It has to be there. And like you said, he gets obsessed with the idea that it has to be there.
And the fact,
but like what you were saying with
do with it afterwards.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the fact that he doesn't really know what to do with it afterward.
Oh yeah, he gets the information, and then what does he do? He just goes online and calls it a victory because I got my FOIA request filled. Okay, and what? And you wasted paper, time, tax dollars, and what? And ink, like.
And as little Chihuahua just pointed out,
because
I've got a few of my students who have a hard time adapting to change, and it seems like Goat Boy has that issue of adapting to change.
Oh, big time. Yeah. He's been doing the same thing for a long time now. He adds other stuff to it. But again, it's just doubling down more on the thing that he's obsessed with, you know? Yeah. It's like he's either going out doing audits or he's sitting at home filming himself doing phone audits. But it's just nonstop with these FOIA things. And it's always the FOIA.
Once again, the obsessive behavior.
No. And he thinks he's a hero because his fans love it, and it's starting to spread. Now he's got Tyrant Terminator Studios doing the same routine with the FOIAs. He's got, I think there's like 10 of them now that are doing the phone call FOIAs, and all because of him. And, you know, you watch his chat, and it's all people that you've heard of and probably done videos about, all in there going, yeah, you're our hero. You're the FOIA king, man. Like, so like when you're engaged in that sort of behavior, and especially if there actually is something with him that makes him get obsessed with this stuff or do that, having so many people supporting you and pushing you and telling you, yeah, you're right, keep doing it, keep it up, you know, that doesn't help.
No, it just feeds into his issues. That I'll just feed into it. I've seen it every day. It just the several students get upset. They feed each other with the energy that they have. One student gets upset, another one gets upset
Right.
after feeding on that one, and it becomes a cycle throughout the day.
Right. And it goes the other way too. Like if somebody does something silly and somebody else laughs, right? Now it's a giggle section for an hour. You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
come on, guys.
exactly.
What is 6 times 8? Look at this. Look at that. Yeah. I had one class that I did back in the day that I only had 2 students because they were that, you know, like because they needed that much individual attention that I couldn't have more than these 2 particular kids at the same time. And they couldn't even like function around other other students at all. It's like it had to be just these 2 in this class. And they were good kids, you know, and I actually ended up having a lot of fun with them. But at the same time, there was a curve because I was a substitute. So, but I was approved for every and any type, you know, whether it was special needs or just standard or whatever, K through high school, all of it. But I had this one class just for the 1 week that the teacher took off, and where it was just these 2. And like at first, like the first couple days, it took a while for me to build a rapport with them and get them to trust me to the point where, you know, they would actually start to, and also I had to figure out what their tics were and their personal, you know what I mean? Like you say, you have like these general techniques that you use, but then when you're dealing with individuals, you got to figure out which of those techniques work on these specific children, you know? So it took me a couple days to really get in a groove with them. But once I did, it actually turned out really good, you know? But the first couple days, there was a lot of, like you're saying, throwing temper tantrums, going nuts, kicking and screaming. No, I don't want it. It's like, okay, listen, buddy, we got to figure this out, you know. But yeah, so I know what you're
Now,
talking about for sure.
Just to put it mildly, I really don't give a flying F what the goat boy thinks of me. He can call me names. He can do this, that, the other, coward, whatever. I mean, I've tried to reach out to him. I mean, I sent him an email saying I can meet you halfway here, blah blah blah. But yesterday he sent 15 emails to Dr. Dave while he didn't send me a dang thing. I mean, he doesn't want to talk to me.
Wow. Well, because what he said was he wants you to admit that you were wrong, that you can't be trespassed from a public building.
Why would I
And
admit
it's
to
funny. It's
something that
like
I'm wrong
I
with
pointed this.
when it is a proven fact that you can be trespassed like that, and the law backs me up every single time on that. Every time I look up the
Right.
trespass laws in each state, some trespass laws are wildly different from other trespass laws, but it's usually the same thing. You don't have to commit a crime to be trespassed. If you are being disorderly and they ask you to leave, well, you can be trespassed. It's the same way throughout many of the states. There's some states that are a little bit more complicated, but not many.
Yes. First of all, good night, Griffey. Thank you for joining us again.
Good
In
night, Griffey.
Australia, it's bedtime for him. So, yes. Sweet dreams about quokkas and kangaroos. Let's see. Has that one Frauditor about a 50-page for you? Wonder what he paid. Mullen Hole that we're talking about. Audit Them is the one. That's the guy we're talking about. He goes out and he gets these big, huge FOIAs. I mean, a 50-page FOIA. I've seen, in fact, the most recent video I did on Audit Them, he was in Cook County's assessor's office and he came out with like an entire REMA paper, like 500-600 pages. It was insane.
It's a waste of money, dude.
When are we going to get a new video from you? Soon. Yes, it is a waste of money. It absolutely is a waste of money. And that's the other thing, too. It's not just a waste of money on the frauditors' part, right? But it's a waste of our tax dollars because these people that are spending all this time and effort putting all this information together, you know, the paper they're wasting, the ink they're wasting, all this stuff is all stuff the taxpayers are paying for the purpose of if somebody actually needs that information for a legitimate purpose other than to prove that they can get that information. And it's like, dude, I could go online and FOIA my stuff and get it emailed to me and I don't have to waste any paper, any ink, and it have the same result, you know, but no, he has to do it on person because it specifically says.
Yeah.
Society Red's here. What's up?
What's up, Society Red?
Oh, I saw Robert Custos in the house. Anyone else I didn't say hello to? Hello. Sorry, I missed you. So here's one of the things, too, with this whole Audit Them thing that I've been looking at. I mean, I could look it up, but just offhand, do you remember? Because there's this one specific quote that he keeps, doubling down on. It seems to be the one that he's, and you read it in your last video, not the one we just watched, but the one before that. It was something in the trespass law about this cannot be construed as or
let me
cannot.
look that up.
I don't remember the exact wording.
I got it right here. I think.
What specifically?
Oh yeah, let me look that. I've got it right here. Just let me pull it up.
Sure.
In fact, I can share the screen and hold on. Let me go ahead and highlight it. I got it right here.
And in fact, while you're doing that, let me
highlight it and share the screen. Okay.
Ding dong, dang dag, nabbit. My computer is
there we go.
slow. Ding dong, dang dag, nabbit. All right.
You see it?
Hold on. Boom. Yes. Okay.
This is it.
So here, let me
this
put
is the
that
thing
full
that
screen.
Perseverating on. This one line right here. It is no defense to charge.
It is no defense.
Go ahead.
Well, no, that's what I was about to do is just read it. So go ahead, finish it.
You can go ahead.
But I can't see it that well because of my glasses.
It is no defense to charge under this section that the land or premises involved was owned, controlled, or in custody of a public agency. So that is no defense right there. If you know that it was owned by a public agency, there's no defense for it right there. It says it in black and white right there. That's where he was saying I was wrong every single time. I mean,
yes.
There's other parts that go. There are others, but if you go down further, most of these are just definitions and everything like that. But that's the one part he's just obsessed with.
Yes, and I was trying to remember, Billy. There's a delay, and so that's sometimes like he won't hear me until like you guys are hearing it in real time, but there's a delay between us. So I apologize for that. And that's why we keep sort of talking over each other, but it's fine.
Yeah, I try to
BHK and I have worked together a lot in the past. So see, like, but yeah, it's nothing bad or intentional. It's just technology.
It's
Parson
accidental.
1122
There
is
is a
here.
delay.
Yeah, EDB, love from Norway to you all. But yeah, so the thing is, that one line that he keeps going on where he says it's no defense, that the line that starts with that, Audit Them's entire argument hinges upon the fact that he is taking that line to mean literally the exact opposite of what it means. Like, it's basically saying that if it's a public owned building, you can't use the fact that it's a public owned building as a defense for you trespassing in it. But he's saying that what that line means is just because it's the fact that it's a public building is not a defense against me going in there. Like, he's taking exactly what it means and flipping it to mean the exact opposite. And that's what he keeps harping on you about, saying, hey, no, he's wrong, he's a liar. And I saw people in his comment section explaining it to him. His people in his comment section explained to him, well, I agree with you, blah, blah, blah. But, well, what they said was they explained to him exactly what it means the right way. But since they're his fans, are like, although it is unconstitutional for them to say that, that is what they're saying. So it's like he's even ignoring his own fans by coming after you about it. I don't even know if he reads his comment section. I have no idea.
Well, from what I understand, he does read his comment section because I've heard that I've heard a claim that he thinks that I'm using a sock account to make negative comments in his comment sections in his videos. I don't even have the time to do that.
Nope. Oh. He's so obsessed with you that he thinks you're obsessed with him.
Yeah. I work 10 hours a day. I got to come home, make my videos, and then do my own thing. And during the weekend, I start making my videos as soon as I get up in the morning, roughly about 6 o'clock. And then I try to be done at before noon. And I do my own thing throughout the rest of the day. He's the least of my worries. He's nothing to me.
Right. Right, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, make a video on this guy, make a video on that guy, make a video on him. Whoa, now all of a sudden, all this black. And a couple of the points that he keeps trying to make about you. By the way, hello, Cliff. Good morning. Good to see you. Christopher O'Connor, what's up? EDB. Anyone else I missed? Ellen, dude. Brengelson? Anyway, welcome, EDB. Welcome to the show. Anyone else, again, I didn't say hello to. Welcome. Glad to see you. But yeah, so a couple of the points that he was trying to make that I wanted to discuss with you and get your opinion on, because these are stuff that he was attacking you over. First of all, this idea, and I was saying, or I was thinking while listening to him, he keeps saying that, like, he doesn't understand. Like, he wants to understand. He says he wants to understand where we're coming from, but he doesn't. Otherwise, he would sit and have a discussion with you like a man, like an actual human, whatever. But he has this thing where he talks about how on our end, it's all just name calling. But the thing that drives me nuts is, and I pointed this out yesterday, he'll be like, I don't understand these bootlickers who always call people names. These bootlickers, they just call people names. I don't understand why bootlickers are always, and it's like, dude, you're name calling by calling us bootlickers. Like, what do you think's going on in his head that he comes after you for name calling, while meanwhile he's calling everyone a bootlicker?
I don't think the connection is made in his head. It might just be part of psychosis or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I admit I do call people names. I call people moron and everything like that. And they call us bootlickers. We call each other names all the time. but I don't let it affect me because you know what? I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Unlike all of them over there, who seems to be more of a tantruming child.
Right. And then the other thing that I noticed he was doing on his anti-you videos is he would take something that you said and then twist it to be something completely different. Like the example I used the other day was he was saying something about, like you said, something about, hey, technically they are legally allowed to trespass you. And then he said, see what this lying deceiver said? I can't believe, I hate that this guy is such a deceiver, is such a liar. He just said that it's legal to violate your rights. And it's like, no, you didn't say that. Who's the deceiver? He's the one who's putting words in your mouth and calling you a deceiver. Who's deceiving people? You are the guy who's saying you said things that you clearly did not say.
Yeah, that part is just he stretches what I say way out of context. I mean, I don't say what he thinks I said. It's not okay for the government to violate your rights. I mean, yeah, that's just common damn sense right there. What is the thing I point out on a lot of my videos is how these frauditors tend to break the law or harass, berate, belittle, act like they're big shots when they're really nothing. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to get across, not what he thinks I'm trying to get across, which is that the government is evil, that they're trying to destroy everybody's rights. No, I'm there now. I will acknowledge that there are times when you do find bad cops, but uh, you know, they find them themselves. They know they've seen the bad cops. I've seen the bad cops, but I'm really here just to point out their behavior. You just can't stand out the middle of a street and just walk up behind a cop and expect nothing to happen because you're getting into their workspace where their safety is at issue.
Right. And that's one of the things that really drives me nuts with a lot of these guys is the way that they walk up on the cops and then call them cowards and like, oh, what are you afraid of a camera? What are you afraid of a camera? It's like, have you ever just, these guys should watch body cam videos, just random body cam channels, because so many times when people walk up behind a cop, it's to attack the cop. It's because there's someone who hates
Yeah.
cops and they're going to start stabbing them or they're going to do something like, so they're not cowards because they're afraid. They're smart because they're prepared. And that's
Yeah.
why they don't want you standing behind them like that. Like, I don't know.
mean,
It's just
and here
how
in
do they not
Florida,
understand
apparently
that? Like,
there's gonna
uh,
and here in Florida, they're apparently about to pass. I haven't kept up with it lately, but Ron DeSantis is supposed to be signing some sort of bill about a rule. You have to stay in so many feet away from a cop if you're going to film them. And I'm sure the auditors are just going to flip
right.
their lids when when that is signed. I mean, I think it's 25 feet or more, or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There have been other places that have tried to place laws like that. And that is exactly a very, very good point, actually, because that's the type of thing that I keep doubling down on and mentioning is that one of my biggest, and I have a lot, I literally wrote an entire book about it, but I have so many beefs with this guys. And one of my biggest beefs with them is the fact that they don't seem to understand that doing what they're doing because there are no laws to stop them will start getting people to try and pass those laws. And they're not actually giving us more rights by doing what they do. They're actually giving us less. They're forcing people to have to pass more restrictive laws. They won't stop. They will not stop just to be decent human beings, just to be polite, just to be kind, just to be empathetic. They will not do it. They refuse because there's no law saying they have to. There's no law that says I have to. So more and more, the more people that they piss off, the more people that are going to get so pissed that they're going to say, okay, then let's go ahead and pass those laws that do restrict your stuff, which is, so you guys are actually taking away our rights, not adding to them, you butter-brained douche canoes. And then they wonder why we call them idiots.
Exactly. And I've seen some on my stock account that I use for downloading Frauditor videos. I've seen some Frauditors put up polls asking if auditing is making a difference, and I just really want to say, yeah, your auditing is making a difference because of you, that laws are being passed to restrict like in Florida that's restrictive laws are being passed because of you, because you idiots are harassing the cops, going to post offices and acting like complete morons. That because of you, more laws are being passed at every other week or something like that. Because of that, in other words, because of you, our rights are getting more and more restricted because of you, dumbasses.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. It's insane, and they don't realize that. And because I've had conversations like this, similar to this, in chats and stuff with some of these guys, and their responses are always like, us saying that, they automatically come at it like we're saying we support that. And it's like, no, you idiot. We're saying that it's a bad thing, that this is what you're doing. Like, it's the exact opposite of your stated goal, which is one of the reasons why I believe that their actual goal is just YouTube clout and money, and their stated goal is just a BS smokescreen so they could claim freedom of the press if they go to court.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's a funny thing. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. When I started this account, when I started this journey of taking on First Amendment auditors. I was discussing it with my father at one point, and then here recently I discussed it here with him again. He likes watching cop watchers, but he says there is a limit to what they have to do. Watch them all you want, he says, but don't interfere. He knows the difference between a First Amendment auditor and a cop watcher. He hates the First Amendment auditors, and he hates the cop watchers that go out and walk up to the officers and antagonize them. He prefers the cop watchers who just stand off in the distance watching the officers of what they do, because things happen. Like Rodney King, for instance, that kind of thing. That is the kind of cop watcher my own father likes. He doesn't like these guys who antagonize the officers. He wants somebody to hold them accountable by filming them, but not interfering.
Right. And that's an extremely important point, too, because you get people like Ironton Auditor. I always support him because he does it right, and he started out on the other side, but he being trained by Chile of all people, but he eventually got off of that, but kept doing it, but doing it the correct way. But I think the best example of that I could possibly think of was just a couple weeks ago. I covered it on this channel, and I think you may have too. Everybody did the video. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people covered it, where this guy was in the subway and this lady was having some kind of serious crisis, and the cops were extremely busy trying to deal with this lady's freak out, and the frauditor wants them to not worry about dealing with her because they have to give him their name and badge number on his demand. And
Yeah, I
it's
saw
like,
that one. I
dude,
covered that
you
one
don't
too. That was
see that
insane.
we're dealing with it? Yeah. Right. And it's like, that's the problem. It's like they seem to have this mentality, and that's why I say they're bigger tyrants than the people they call tyrants. They seem to have this mentality
Exactly.
that, whether it's the cops or the secretaries in the building, if you're working, you have to stop working when I come in with my camera, flip your pages over, close your computer screens, and just sit there and wait until the frauditor is done. Maybe pray to the frauditor and lick his boots while you're there. Same thing with the cops. Hey, you got a dangerous criminal who's shooting a gun everywhere. Well, leave him alone because you have to stop, come here and tell me your name and badge number right now. It's like, really? Like, this is a situation that we're dealing with. You're an idiot. Go away or go stand over there and film. But leave us alone and let us do what we're trying to do. It's insane.
Yeah, really. I've got nothing more to
Oh,
say
my
about
goodness.
audit them. I don't want to spend your whole show talking about that idiot. So I know you probably got
Well, I mean, you
other
got to go,
videos
or
you
do you
got
want
to
to hang
cover.
out for a while? Or
I'll hang out for and be a commentator as well.
okay, sure, that'll be fun. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat. See what people are talking about. Let's see. What is Cliff Hickson? Hey, Hezokuai, Go Boy put out a community notification 10 minutes ago, trying to get 5,000 thumbs up so he can play a video. Oh, he does that all the time. He goes, if you give me this many likes, then I'll do this. He does it anyway, whether he gets the likes or not. Let's see. What does EDB have to say? Thank God we don't have frauditors like that in Norway. If they tried, they would go to jail. So many, you should send them here. Oh, so maybe you should send them here. What do you think about that? Sending them all to Norway so they could get locked up.
Yeah, let's go to do that. Maybe they'll learn their lesson.
Right? Oh, that would be fun. Justin Pilliam corruption report has stopped cop watching and frauditing, and he announced it earlier today. Oh, wow. Did you hear about that?
Nah, I haven't heard about that one.
Oh, hey, I should check that out later. That'd be cool. Hey, if these guys retire from being douche canoes, good. I'm not going to. I despise the ones that stand out in front of a private business. I'll tell you, Christopher, that's 90% of what I cover, especially now, are the people who go after private businesses and regular people. What's your opinion on that, Blackheart?
Yeah, that too is a bit sketchy. I mean, just standing out in front of a private business. I mean, yeah, what if you're standing outside of a bank or something like that, a jewelry store where Dutterman has done the exact same thing and he's gotten arrested over it. I mean, it's a bit sketchy. I mean, people can see it the wrong way, and somebody would end up in the hospital.
Right? It seems so obvious to me, and I've always said, like, I think they intentionally target those types of places because they know that they're going to get a negative reaction. You know that, especially the way half of these guys dress with masks and glasses and hats and stuff, like, especially in California on a hot day. Like, if somebody puts on a mask and glasses and a hat and a disguise and all this, and they stand out in front of a bank, how could they, like, how can we believe that they didn't intentionally do that to arouse suspicion, to create
And then they'll
RAS
twist the
intentionally?
narrative saying, oh, they're attacking the man with the camera. So they hate cameras. They hate the First Amendment. They hate freedom.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly right. Because that's, I love the way you said that, because that's exactly what they do, right? It's like, it's never the cameraman and his actions. It's always, oh, what's the matter? You don't like cameras? No, I don't like the idiot who's holding it and arguing with me right now. Like, it's never the camera. It's always the cameraman and the way, or camera person, and the way that they behave. That's the issue, you know?
Which that reminds me of when
got
Goat
Robert.
Boy first started his beef with me. He was going after the phrasing cameraman, like what I just said. It's all they twisted the narrative. It's all about the camera. But then he ended up dropping that and going after other things
Right.
about it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That guy, he's, again, we could spend a whole show just talking about him because so much of what he does is so dumb and so bad. And I have a particular interest in him. And, you know, when Ray was up here, you know, always talking about, well, not always, but whenever we talked about him, it was always because her and I are both from the same area. And that's where he operates primarily, is in Chicago, Cook County, DuPage, like all the places, you know, our stomping ground when we were growing up. So seeing him go to these places that we know, you know, and it's like, oh, what are you doing? God, no, that's not how it works, you imbecile. Oh. Robert Custos says, all frauditors see the First Amendment as free speech without checking case law and statutes, and specifically the 10th Amendment, so they are misinformed. Yes. What about that? The ignoring of the 10th Amendment that they tend to do.
Cherry picking. Just the flat out.
Hold on, I gotta say, yeah, yes, I gotta say something real quick though. The peaceful avatar I see is here, dude. Have you been watching this last 4 nights? Goose playing live for 4 nights. Last night they had Vampire Weekend come out and do a song with them, which Vampire Weekend didn't do anything except pretty much stand there and keep the beat while Goose jammed. But have you been watching those? I watched them every night so far. They're amazing. There's this band called Goose, and they've been doing they're playing a gig right now where they played 4 nights in a row in the same club and broadcasted it live on YouTube. And I've been watching it every night. And I know Peaceful Avatar, he's the one who turned me on to the band Goose in the first place. So it's been amazing. So anyway, go ahead, Blackheart. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I'm done. I got my point across right there.
You made your point. Okay, yeah. But so yeah, it's amazing the way that the thing that triggered this conversation was starting the whole idea of, you know, cop watchers are one thing, going to state buildings are another thing, but specifically the ones that go to regular civilians, regular businesses, regular people who aren't even part of the government, to do a First Amendment audit on them. First of all, a normal citizen, I cannot violate your First Amendment. I cannot violate your rights. I'm a civilian. Like, why would you do a First Amendment audit on any civilian place when it's impossible for them to violate your rights because they're not part of the government?
Right. I mean, but of course, they don't see it that way. Their brains are not exactly fully functional. They don't have the ability for abstract thought or to take things to their most logical conclusion. They have no capacity for critical thinking or anything like that. They live in the moment, and that's really about it.
Right. Exactly. And it's and again, back to the point, like, because they'll make these arguments about, like, you know, when they're dealing with regular people, right? Like, oh, well, you know, this guy violated my First Amendment right or whatever. And it's like, no. If somebody, a regular person, a civilian, actually did do something, like to like maybe put their hand over your mouth, like physically did something to stop you from talking, they're not violating your rights. They're committing a crime. They can get arrested for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not a rights violation for a regular person to do that. If they did, then it would be a criminal matter. I don't know how these guys don't. Well, like you said, they don't have the intelligence behind it, you know?
Right.
Oh boy. So anyway, um, let's see. What do we got? Well, let me ask you something. You want to watch the new NCR video?
Sure, let's watch NCR.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. NCR News Network. Great guy. Another huge supporter of the channel. In fact, when I was talking earlier about you being one of my most often guests, NCR News Network has also been on my show a number of times. Great support of the channel. We love NCR News Network. Ladies and gentlemen, the new NCR News Network video. Here we go. All right.
Hi, folks. Today we're going to take a look at an update to the North Cal Cop Watch arrest, where he goes on an e-begging spree to ask for money to pay for his own stupidity. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous support, we couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it helps with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
So yeah, we're gonna discuss a few things. We're gonna talk about what I can speak on, and I know a lot of you guys have expressed your concerns. You guys have reached out via Messenger on Facebook. You guys have sent me emails. You guys have commented on all my videos.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
See, nobody cares that you've had all your Frauditors simps come at you to make sure you're okay because you pulled a dumb. But what I'm not going to allow you to do is e-beg on my channel. There's a black bar that you will see appear on the screen. I'm doing that to block out his PayPal link, which he is using to beg for money for his attorney fees. And I'm not going to allow that here.
Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Everything's good.
Real quick, I just want to say I'm going to do this just because I think it's going to be funny after what he just said. NorCal has his PayPal link up there, so NCR is going to block it out. So let me put my PayPal link up here on the scroll just to piss them off. What's that? What's that, Blackheart? Were you going to say something?
I was just laughing about it.
Oh, yeah, it's NorCal. NorCal. This guy, this is for those of you who didn't realize, NorCal Cop Watch, this is the same guy that the other day got beat up by that dude in the library because the dude asked him to stop filming and he refused. And the guy tried to talk to him for 20 minutes. Please don't film me. I don't want you to film me. Stop filming me. And he kept filming him. So then the guy got up in his face and he pepper sprayed the guy. So because he pepper sprayed the guy, the dude just laid him out right there in the library. That's this guy. This is NorCal Cop Watch. It's the same guy. And NorCal's the one who ended up getting arrested because he deployed pepper spray indoors. And again, the dude started swinging because he got pepper sprayed. He didn't get pepper sprayed because he was swinging. So that's why NorCal, he's the one that ended up getting in trouble. But anyway, there's other camera angles of the situation that we haven't seen yet. As far as you know, Blackheart, have there been any other camera angles that have been released since that incident that you know of? Because I've only seen the one where you can't physically see the moment of, except for you see the pepper spray, but
No,
I don't
haven't
know,
seen
just
any other
in case
camera
there's something
angles
we
coming
missed
out.
that would be picked up from a different one. Yeah, as far as I know, they haven't released any. We should FOIA the library footage of the body. Well, the cops weren't there yet. We should see if we could get our hands on it. That'd be funny if we were the ones to break it, and maybe they're not breaking it because it proves that NorCal was wrong.
Yeah, really.
You know, because why else would all of those? Because there were two cameramen there, both with more than one camera each, because they had their body cams and their phones, and we only get the one angle, the one that's a little hard to tell exactly what happened. I wonder why they never released the other ones. These guys usually release
Well-
everything they film unless they prove that NorCal was wrong.
Yeah, they have something to hide themselves. Oh, gee, they go into a building and then they want to get kicked out. It's like, oh, do you have something to hide? And then when it comes their time, they want to hide the evidence.
Yeah. Yes, that's a great point. They always say that we all have that these people that they audit all are trying to hide something. First of all, when they are trying to hide something, it's personal, private information of their clients or customers, social security number, stuff like that. So they should be trying to hide that stuff. Number one. Number two, they always say, you guys aren't being transparent, and I'm here for transparency. Well, how about you being transparent? Oh, hell no. I'm not even going to tell you the name of my YouTube channel. I'm not going to tell you anything. Like, well, I'm not a government employee, so I don't have to. Yeah, but when you're auditing a freaking library, like, I mean, oh my goodness. Well, we only got it's 7:17, so we only got 3 minutes to the cupcake dance. So I'll play the video again for another couple minutes, and we'll get it started. But then I'm gonna have to pause it in a couple minutes, or I don't know. Now we only got 2 minutes. I don't want to get into the video and then pause it just 2 minutes later. So you got anything else you want to say that we could waste 2 minutes talking?
Not really. I haven't watched too much of that NorCal Cop Watch video. I've been on other videos trying to take care of them. In fact, there's this one guy that I'm about to promote today on my channel that he seems to have a pretty good sense of humor. So watch out for that video today. I've already sent him an email that I'm going to be promoting his channel today. So watch out. Yeah, go and watch out for that one.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, always keep an eye on Blackheart Knight. Make sure if you're not subscribed that you subscribe to his channel. Blackheart Knight is a great creator, great fan of this show, big supporter, always has been. We love Blackheart Knight. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Blackheart coming up and joining us today. And that brings us to time for the Cupcake Happy Dance. Here we go. All right. Okay. Ole. All right. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh. Cool Clearwater was so excited for the cupcake dance. Yeah. Isn't that the David Bowie song from Labyrinth? No. No,
Which
that's
one? There's a lot of David Bowie songs.
that's
in that one.
yeah, in that movie
Dance
he
Magic
sings
Dance or
a lot of songs in there. Yeah. The babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Hoodoo. You what? Remind me of the babe. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. We love you, Cupcake. Yes, absolutely. Big love for Cupcake, Frauditor News Network.
yes, we love for Cupcake.
Another one. We love Cupcake from Graham. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get back to the video, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what NorCal Cop Watch is doing. This guy is something else. And again, just real quick for anyone who's just joining us, if you don't remember who NorCal Cop Watch is, he's the one that pepper sprayed the dude in the library. So the dude beat the crap out of him right there in the middle of the library. And then NorCal ended up getting arrested because he started it by pepper spraying the guy. There she is. Ole, what's up, Cupcake? Great to see you. All right, yes. Another round
Ole.
of applause. 3 cheers, ladies and gentlemen, for yes. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Best fans in the world. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Let's watch some more NorCal Cop Watch.
As far as obviously, I'm free. I'm not in custody.
You will be. You will be.
I did post a live stream. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday on the way to go speak to the lawyer, and I was advised to remove that live stream. So there's only so much information that I can share, because as you guys know, the police are monitoring this channel. There's probably a troll in the chat right now, so mods, be ready. They monitor this channel. The district attorney is probably monitoring this channel. Anything I say on this channel can and will be used against me in this current case.
Yes.
A lot of people have been commenting. They want to see my footage. Well, let me share something with you guys. The police want to see my footage also. Did you know that? And they haven't. I am under no obligation.
Wait a minute. Of course the cops want to see your footage. Your defense.
I can always subpoena
is
you
that
freaking moron.
You right? Oh my goodness. Greg Jonick with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Greg. Here's your happy dance. All right. Yes, thank you so much. But he's about to get into, and obviously, he'll get further into it when we go back in it. But he's about to get into, I'm not obligated to have to give the. It's like, wait a minute. Your big excuse for your auditing and why you're filming is so that if something happens, you'll have it on camera. So now something happened and you have it on camera. Oh, no, I'm not going to give my footage to the cops. I'm not obligated to do so. Okay.
Well,
then take your
Kenny, what are you
evidence
hiding?
and shove it up your ass if you're not going to give it to the cops. Right. Like we said earlier, unless those camera angles prove that he was wrong.
Exactly. You're
Which I'm willing
wrong,
to bet they do.
douchebag. That's why you're hiding it.
Yep. And that's so much of what they do too. With so many of their arguments, it's always, even if it would help them, supposedly, they won't do it because, well, there's no law that says I have to. Okay, there's no law that says, unless they subpoena it or whatever, but it's like, oh, it just drives me nuts. Like I just said, why do you guys film? Well, so that if something happens, we'll have the footage. Okay, something happened. You have the footage. Oh, there's no law says I have to give you that footage. I'm not giving it to you. Nope. Why? Because it proves that you pepper sprayed him before he went hands-on, and that's why he went hands-on, not the other way around. You pepper sprayed him because no. Oh man. He pepper sprayed him before being touched. Yep, exactly. Yeah, because I've watched the original footage, and I know obviously you've covered it too, but I've watched that original footage now at this point like 4 or 5 times, and you can clearly see the guy walks up to him, and then you could see the pepper spray being deployed. But the other problem is his buddy who posted the footage blurred everything out so that it wouldn't get demonetized, ostensibly for that reason. But maybe he blurred everything out because, again, maybe it would prove that the guy went hands-on because he got pepper sprayed, and not that he got pepper sprayed because he went hands-on.
Well, as I've got a confession to make as far as me covering the video, I've downloaded it, but I haven't covered it yet. I mean, I've been so busy with a lot of other things that I gotta prioritize my videos.
Right. Oh no, and I think I said this earlier. So many people have covered it. I don't even remember who specifically didn't. So if you didn't, that's cool. It's just because so many people have. It's all over the place. I've even seen channels that have nothing to do with what we do, but do like crime stuff and just generally cover it, because it is a dude getting into a fist fight in the middle of a library and deploying pepper spray where all the people in the library are starting to choke because it's in the air. Like that's actually a story to cover, But again, that also goes back to their journalists. How are they journalists when they're creating these stories, right? They're not covering a story that's already happening. They're creating a story. Edward, is audit them still melting down? That's how we started the show. In fact, that's why I brought Black Hart up, was to discuss the audit them thing. The whole first hour was us talking about that situation. Donna Ray, NorCal is in trouble. The library is being harassed. Yeah. Yep. And that's what this video we're watching right now is all about. So let's go ahead and pull that back up, unless there was anything else you wanted to say before I start the video again.
No, let's get into it and see how this video turns out, even though I've seen it a dozen times by now.
Well, right. Right. All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
Obligation to help them in their investigation, and I will not.
Yes, you don't have a right to help the police in their investigation. However, that footage, it can be subpoenaed. They can subpoena your phones. They can subpoena your computers. And they can actually take those devices away from you and get a court order to look at
What
those
did I
devices
just say?
to find
Subpoena?
But what's the real reason why you're hiding this footage?
Well, not just that, but oh my goodness, see, just what he said just now, my head just exploded, because it's like, okay, wait a minute. After everything we just said, he goes, I'm not going to help you in your investigation. I refuse to do it. Wait a minute. Their investigation into whether or not you were the victim or the aggressor? If you were the victim, because that's what he's claiming, is that he was the victim. I refuse to help you into your investigation. That's not my job. If you're the victim, you're not going to help them.
Yeah, it's just really.
Yeah, it's like it almost leaves you
I'm speechless.
The stupidity. It's like we're supposed to believe that you're the victim, and you refuse to help the police in their investigation. That would be like if I was a victim, right? If somebody, I don't know, came up to me and beat me up, and well, I mean, literally, that's what this is, right? Somebody comes to me, beats me up. I have the whole thing on film. I say, officer, you have to arrest that guy. He beat me up. I have the whole thing on film. Well, give us the footage. Oh, hell no, I'm not helping you with your investigation. Oh, well, I don't know, man. Go eat some cake and hang out in the river. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like the mentality of these people, they just hate cops so much that they will not help the cops in the investigation to prove that they were the victim they claim to be. Or, like we've all been saying, the footage would prove that he isn't the victim, that the guy he pepper sprayed is the real victim, and that's why. Now that makes sense. NorCal has no idea how much trouble he's actually in. Man. Well, if you remember in the fight, right, when it first happened, as soon as the cops showed up, they went to the librarian and said, what happened? And in the video, you see the librarians pointing at NorCal saying, get him. That's what they literally said to the cops, get him, get him. So it's like right off the bat, it's like, well, you see this big fight in the library. They call the cops come in, and the first thing the librarians do is point at NorCal and say, get him. What do you think the cops are going to assume? Oh, but I'm not going to help them in their investigation. All right, let's check out some more.
More than likely, it's because it shows you in a bad light. More than likely, it shows you being the aggressor and discharging your pepper spray, which you weren't supposed to have because you were a convicted felon.
So Dublin Police Department is probably monitoring this, watching this channel right now. So let's give them a wave. Hello. There's certain things I can talk about, some things that I can't. I got to be very, very careful with my wording. There is an active case currently. I'm out on bail. Bail was $10,000. And, you know, I posted the $1,000 10% bond. I had court today. Today was the arraignment. So there's a few things that I want to talk about in regards to this case. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have seen Vigil Antioch's footage, or We the People's video, or Midwest Accountability's video, or TCS's video. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the,
or you can put a 1 in the chat if you've seen my video. But all jokes aside, this guy is probably right. You know, the police and prosecution are more than likely watching his channel, waiting for him to upload or drop a video or live stream about this particular incident. And more than likely, if they are not watching it, they're probably working on getting a subpoena ready to seize his electronic devices to get that video, because the video more than likely shows him in a negative light. And, well, hearing him in his friend's video, it did paint him in a negative light. Because, 1, he's a felon with a pepper spray that he's not supposed to be having. And 2, he did not meet force with force, which is the law for California.
footage from the incident, timeline of the events. Let's go over timeline of the events, okay? I could talk about that. Timeline of the events, around about 1:45, 1:50 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon, Vigil Antioch and I had just completed a First Amendment audit at the City Hall in Dublin, and everything went absolutely perfect. It went really well.
Okay.
The government employees treated us with respect. There was no issues. Nobody freaked out. And right across the parking lot is the library, the Dublin Library. So Vigil Antioch and I were discussing the next place that we had on our list that we were going to go to, and we see the library, and we say, well, let's go to the library. Let's go do an audit at the public library. Why not? I've done a few of them. I haven't had any issues with any libraries and any audits that I've done. So let's just go check it out, right? Let's just go see if they respect our rights. Peacefully record. If you guys know me and you guys have seen my videos, I am not there to agitate anybody. I'm not there to start a riot. I'm not there to fight anybody. My intentions are, number 1, to exercise my rights peacefully. Number 2, to educate anybody that I come in contact with. And I always want to de-escalate. I'm there for education, not confrontation. So
Shenanigans.
No.
Shenanigans.
No.
And we're going to have to call shenanigans here. Because the simple fact of the matter is this: I've covered several of your videos, and in those videos, you haven't tried to de-escalate. You've only escalated the situation. As a matter of fact, all frauditors tend to escalate the situation due to the fact that if you don't have a video where you get the confrontation from police that you so desperately need, the video doesn't do well. And you can put a clickbaity title on there, but even then, it hurts you in the long run because the algorithm will stop putting out your videos because people will start spreading the word that you put out clickbait. People like Immigrants Press, DirectD, DMA, all use confrontation to get people to come to their channel. They use these tactics because why? The more eyes they get, the more dollars they can make.
you guys have followed my channel for a while. You know that to be true. It's about 1:50 p.m. We're leaving City Hall. We go across the way to the parking lot. I'm not expecting anything crazy to happen, right? Vigilante and I, we walk in. Vigil walks in front of me. I stay back because I like to separate, right? I like to do my own thing personally. I feel like I conduct myself pretty respectfully.
You're lying.
I'll let Vigil go do his. He likes to wander around anyway.
Okay. I want to point something out. So right now, what NorCal is talking about here is literally the library beatdown that he got, okay? But now he's getting into how he handles his audits in general. This is the same guy who filmed a lady in the school district. When he posted the video, she found it, put in a privacy strike on YouTube against it, which got it taken down because she was in the video. So YouTube said, hey, this is a legitimate privacy complaint. And he became obsessed with going back there every single day and auditing them until they fire her. He's literally actively trying to destroy a woman's career because she put in a privacy strike against him for using her image without her permission, which is a violation of YouTube TOS, which is why they took the video down. And until this thing happened, that was his primary obsession. So what do you think about that situation, like Black Hart? Because that was a couple weeks before this. You remember that one and what's been going on with that?
I don't recall that one, but I've heard people talking about it. Which, if that's the case, well, that is just freaking disgusting. I mean, I think Georgia Transparency did the same thing with another person, harassed them until they removed the privacy complaint, and well, it's just they're unwilling to take the criticism, just like my supposed nemesis, Goat Boy.
Right? But yeah, he did the video with her, posted it, she had it taken down. So then he started doing all these live streams where he would go to like the main office for the Department of Education, talking to her bosses, saying, so when are you going to discipline this lady for doing this to me? When are you going to get her fired for doing this? When are you going to press charges against her for breaking policy and violating my rights? It's like YouTube allows privacy complaints. If somebody uses your image without your permission, you are allowed to file a privacy strike. Like, that's part of the whole deal. Like YouTube's a private company, so they have the right to have whatever rules they want. The lady didn't violate his First Amendment by putting a privacy complaint against him for using her image without her permission. Donna Ray says he's in trouble for that. He just doesn't know it yet. Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble.
If you got anything else?
Yeah.
Right now he's focused on the library incident. He's not thinking about that anymore, and who knows what the backlash of that's going to be. But anyway, yeah, it seems so much like so many of these auditors really are dead set on destroying people's lives. You know, trying to get this woman fired, trying to get this woman prosecuted, trying to call her someone who violated his rights, get her punished at work or something, like, because she did something that she's perfectly allowed to do. And Anastasia Beaverhausen, welcome. Good to see you. Another thing too
And you
that
know,
I've
my
noticed
big
with this
concern,
specific situation. No,
and my
sorry,
biggest
go ahead, Blackheart.
concern with all of them is that he may try this on me, where if he actually has the information of where I work, he might decide to start some call flooding to try to get me fired. But I really don't think that they would fire me because I've been such a valuable asset to them that the director of the ESC program in my county has pretty much stated to me clearly that they're not going to get rid of me for anything because I've done so much good for their program. Nope, they're not going to get rid of me.
Right. Well, that's it. It's like, and what are they going to do? Call flood and complain that hey, he made a video on YouTube where he pointed out that there's a law that says that you can be trespassed. Okay, and these guys will find anything, and they just love to go after people and destroy people. That's why it's so annoying what they do. One of the many reasons. Anyway, you want to see what else he has to say about it?
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say about it.
All right.
And he likes to talk to people. He's a talker. If you guys know Vigil Antioch is a talker. He loves to talk. So I love Vigil Antioch to death, man. He's one of the very first cop watchers, auditors that I linked up with when I started my channel, and then Anthony X was the second. So those two I hold very close to me. They're my road dogs. I appreciate them so much. And, you know, so we walk in, Vigil goes in front of me, and I hang back. And there's an entryway, and then there's a bunch of flyers on the wall, and then there's the desk in the front where the librarian staff are at. And I notice right when I walk in, they're already freaking out. The two ladies, the two managers.
Dramatization may not have happened.
They're already stressed out. They're already freaking out. They're not sure what's going on. They just see two guys with cameras, and we got monopods. Vigil's got a microphone on his, so, you know, it's a little startling for people that are not familiar with First Amendment audits. However, we just left City Hall. Everything went well. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, these people are probably educated, right? It's right across the parking lot, literally 100, 200 feet from where we were just at. There's no way that these people can't be educated, right? I hang back. I'm filming the community board with the flyers, which is right next to the front desk with the employees. And I noticed that they're looking at Vigil. They're looking at me. They're looking at Vigil. One of the employees goes back in the back room immediately. So I'm thinking, okay, she's probably going to call somebody. She's probably going to go hide, you know, because we see this all the time when we go do audits. People feel uncomfortable, so they want to go hide. And then she comes back out and she looks just pale, like just terrified. You know, she's scared. She's scared for her life. Two men with cameras.
Well, maybe she went back there to see if you guys were supposed to be there, or if there was some kind of event that she wasn't aware of. And you did bring up a valid point. It's not common to see people walking around with tripods and gimbals and all these big microphones in a public place like that. I mean, it's just not common. And you're taking pride in the fact that you might have freaked her out. I mean, are you some kind of degen? What am I saying? Of course you are.
Oh no, two men with cameras. So Vigil walks through, goes into the book section. I hang back. I'm looking at the flyers. I'm paying attention to the employees out the corner of my eye, and I'm filming. I'm mainly focusing on the public information on the wall. I'm not intentionally filming anybody, even though I can. I have the right to. But we're not there to stick cameras in people's faces like most people say. And so not even a few minutes into this audit is when the patron, the bystander, and Vigil Antioch intervene with each other and have that confrontation deep inside the library. And now I'm not there yet. I finish my business in the front by the desk, and I start walking in through the entryway. and I come up to the very first section of tables. Immediately, I was stopped by one of the managers, and she comes up to me and she's telling me, "Hey, you can't film." She said, "This is what she said." She says, "You can film in here, but you can't film people. Can't film any people." And I do what I do. I play dumb. I said, "Oh, really?"
Oh, you were just acting dumb? I thought you were dumb. I mean, harassing people at a public library or in a public place in general is just dumb, especially when you can clearly see that somebody is highly agitated by them. And well, making up lies to cover your tail, it's not going to help you in court. So maybe if you would stop breaking the law and just tell the truth, you might avoid situations like this.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, look at that. You guys see that? See that little red mark? That's the rug burn from when my face hit the ground. Rug burn. Got another one on my elbow too. So she stops me in my tracks and starts telling me that I can film, I can record in here. She says that. You can record in here, but you can't record people. I said, "Oh, really? Are you sure about that?" She said, yes, you need their consent. She's crazy. Oh man, that's so crazy. She said, "Yeah, you need consent." And so I tried to explain to her that I have every right to be here and film, and we're doing a First Amendment audit. I say all these things. She wants nothing to do with anything I'm saying. Her whole goal. So we're walking through. She stops us. We try to educate her, and as I'm talking to her,
Wait a minute. NCR, I see you're here. Was that his cut or was that your cut? Because it sounded like he was about to actually say something. Like her whole goal was, and then it cuts to him sipping his coffee and he never finishes the sentence. Did you do that cut or was that a cut in the original video? I don't know. But anyway, I bet you it was a cut in NorCal's video because, of course, he's not going to do anything that actually makes sense. But he just made a point that I think is very important to my argument against what these people do, right? Is like their stated goal is to educate people that they have the right to film them without their permission, is basically what he's saying. So it's like by filming them, even after they ask you to stop, to teach them that you can do that, like, that's like, you're a teacher, Blackheart. It's like saying you're going to teach a child that 2 + 2 = 4 by shoving 2 things in their face and then shoving 2 more and saying, how many was that? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to educate you that I'm allowed to film you by purposely going out of my way to film you after you ask me not to piss you off as much as I can. Now you've learned your lesson. Like, that's education.
What they call
guys.
educating is not educating, as
by
you
these
just
idiots.
said.
Right? Oh man. But I mean, what do you think of that idea of how they try to define education their way in general?
That's not education. That is something entirely different. You just don't go up to somebody, shove something in their face, like you said, and call it education. Education is a long-term process that, in certain instances, depending on what you're trying to teach, could take a considerable amount of time. What they're doing is just trying to be bullies.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's like, again, and I've said this so many times before, it's like they say that they're to educate people, but the only thing that people are learning from their interactions with these guys is that these guys are assholes. That's all that they're learning. Like, I ask you not to film me, and you cannot just, as a decent human being that's trying to function in a civilized society, you can't just say, "Oh, okay, I won't film you, sir." You can't. They can't do that. They just can't. Why? Because they have to educate people that I'm going to film you whether you like it or not. Now you've learned. Like, I don't understand the mentality behind that and how they can make the claim. First of all, they're journalists, then they're educators, that they're all these big, wonderful, awesome things, when in reality, they're just bullies and punks, right?
Yeah, really. And then, oh yeah, you can film people in a public forum, but here's the thing: once you enter certain buildings, it can change into a different type of public forum, where a courthouse is a non-public forum, a library is a limited public forum, and so on and so on. This is something that they just don't get, they don't understand. And it's a well-established doctrine within the justice system that they just seem to ignore.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about earlier that I forgot to mention when we were talking about Audit Them and his videos where he was going after you. It's funny because we always say these guys don't know the difference between limited and traditional and all that stuff, but apparently Audit Them does. But what's funny is when he says it, it's like, it's the way he says it. It's his tone of voice. Literally, he'll say like, yeah, and then when you walk into these places, they'll always say, it's a limited public forum, time, place, and manner. Like he says, because he says it like that, that means it's not legit.
Yeah, that's his mindset right there.
Like, I
That
don't get
it's
the
not
mentality behind
legitimate. It's that, but it's still a sign of his mental mentality of well, maybe not autism in that particular scenario. He just might be a little bit psychotic in that way.
Right. And I noticed earlier someone said in the chat, they asked, how come it seems like most of these guys have a criminal record? One of my theories behind that is that's why a lot of these people become frauditors, because they never take accountability and say, I got arrested because I did something wrong. It's always the cops' fault for busting them, not their fault for doing it. So they become frauditors because they hate cops because they've been busted in the past. And so they found a way to retaliate against the cops while making YouTube money at the same time. And that's why they're frauditors. So that's why so many of them have criminal records, because it is their criminal record that initiates their desire to do this. That's my theory. Anyway, what do you think about that, Blackheart?
That's a possibility. In fact, I have thought about this one person I know that is a jailbird himself that keeps on getting caught for theft and everything like that. He's my former landlord's son. I've thought about approaching him about this First Amendment auditing thing and showing him the ropes as far as being the next Long Island audit and everything like that, because he does have a bit of a silver tongue, and that way you and I can, everybody else can have more content, because this guy can be hilarious when he goes out auditing. He does have that rather silver tongue way of talking to people. It can get you on his side and everything like that. Just has this way about him. But I thought against it because he might take it a bit too far.
Right. um that's funny. But when you mentioned like the silver tongue thing, that is such an important piece to the auditors you see that actually are successful and have a big following. And I always say this because when I was younger, I actually was fascinated with the idea of how like con men work, because I used to feel like, well, I still think it's true. Like if you understand what they're doing, it makes it easier not to fall for it. So I studied a lot. I did a lot of research into how these guys behave, what they do, and how they do it. And it's like there's several things. Like, for example, asking someone a question, and then before they finish answering it, answering a different question to completely throw off their mind and to get them all discombobulated and confused, or the fast talking, the circular reasoning, all of these things that these guys, all these techniques that all these guys use are all old school con man techniques, fast talking, circular reasoning, all of these things, using words, specific words like there's no such thing as a traffic ticket. They will never say traffic ticket. They'll always say extortion, right? Things like that. It's all part of these old school con man techniques that they use. And so many of them use so often. And like you said, if you get somebody that's like a silver tongue, like somebody who could really talk their way into a situation, those are the ones who are the best, or, for what they do, right, at it. And the most successful at it are the ones who could really their way through a situation and just throw the words out there quick like that, Have you noticed that same trend?
Yeah, I've noticed that same trend, and as Christopher O'Connor brought up here on just a moment ago, Tyrant Terminator is that kind of silver tongue person.
Yes, big time. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He said, "Oh, but you don't understand. I just came to do a FOIA request. That's all. It's no big deal. I happen to be recording because I want to record my government in action. So if you would be so kind as to give me the FOIA forms, and I'll fill them out right here." It's like, well, we don't have them right here right now, but you see, you could just give me a blank piece of paper and I could, yeah, that's how he talks, And one of the things with people like him and Long Island Audit and several other ones that always have this calm demeanor when they do it, good guy activism or whatever is another one where it's like, it's almost more despicable to me because they say all the same stuff, but because they maintain a nice calm demeanor while they're saying it, it's like just their demeanor being calm makes their fans think, oh, these guys are better. These guys aren't like Direct D and freaking media and all these other bombastic guys because they're doing it calm. It's like, yeah, but they're still doing the same thing. Just because they're doing it calmly doesn't make it any less frustrating to the people they're doing it to.
It's the
Yep. Exactly. And I was watching I think it was Good Guy Activism. Yeah, he was doing like a stream the other day. And I was watching it and he's got me blocked, so I couldn't say anything. But I wanted to say something about it because he was going into this place, like a city hall, and they're like, well, you need an ID to get in. And he's like, well, what if I was homeless? Like, what you got? I'm here because I'm doing activism for the homeless to protest the fact that they need an ID to walk in the building because you're excluding homeless people from the building. And I looked up the law. In New Jersey, you can get a state ID for free if you're homeless. But the journalist didn't take 2 seconds to go on Google and figure that out. So the idea of we're journalists, but they never do any research. What do you think about that idea, Blackheart?
That's quite common with them. I mean, they claim to be journalists, but what is one thing that journalists do? They do a lot of research, and from what I've seen with a lot of their videos, their research skills are very much lacking. But then again, I'm biased on that, considering that I've got a bachelor's degree in sociology, and I had to take an actual research course at FSU, which I ended up having to write a 41-page paper in that class, and I chose a topic about Facebook and the connection between if there was a connection between how many followers you had and your self-esteem, and I had to do a lot of interviews. I had to have people even sign a waiver before I recorded their voice. So I had to do. I even had to get down and do statistics and everything like that. I mean, that's research. What these guys do, not research.
Yes. Not at all. they, and that's the thing. Like in situations like that, it's like they didn't even attempt to do research. You know, just storming into a place that says you need ID to get in, and immediately start going, well, what about homeless people? How are they supposed to get in? You're just trying to kick them out. It's like New Jersey specifically has free IDs for homeless people. That's specifically in there. In 2 seconds on Google, it took me to find that.
And another thing I
These
brought up with
journalists
Goat
can't even
Boy,
do that much research.
and another thing I brought up with Goat Boy is if he tried this academic dishonesty in a university, he'd be kicked out or something like that. At the very least, that's sanctioned for it.
Yes, absolutely. Like, ah. Oh man, these guys, it's so frustrating, and they always double down on their stupid. That's the other thing that makes it so. It's kind of the same thing with, even like with the sovereign citizens, right? They get busted for something. In their mind, the fact that they got busted just proves that they're right. It's like, no, it proves that the person who sold you on this idea was lying to you, right? And these guys, the more trouble they get in, the more they double down on what they're doing. Every once in a while, you'll get someone like the Audit Strikes Back who eventually came out and said, hey, you know what? This whole auditing thing's a scam. I know it's a scam. I tried it. It's not for me. I'm out because it's just too dishonest. And my conscience just won't let me keep doing it. You see a situation like that, and then you're like, okay, there you go. Boom. That's what we've been saying from the beginning, But a lot of these idiots in those situations actually double down on the auditing because they got to make more money.
Well, he had a conscience. Well, these other auditors don't have consciences. They have no idea of the difference between good, evil. They have no concept of that. They see everybody as marks. That's it. You're a mark. What can I get from you?
Yes, exactly. And they don't have smarks, right? They only got marks. And me and Blackheart actually are both smarks and proud of it. But anyway, if you're into pro wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. So these guys, you're exactly right. And I've said this before. A lot of times I'll watch these videos and you can see like when they walk into a crowded, like a DMV or whatever it is, library, post office, they'll start panning their camera back and forth until they find someone who like maybe like they see the camera and they go like this. That's the person they're going to film. That's the mark. As soon as you see someone who's obviously, but through their body language, obviously uncomfortable being filmed, you have found your mark, and they will immediately put their camera on that person and not take it off that person until they get a reaction. Speaking of which, Blackheart, I just thought of something. Did you watch WrestleMania last weekend?
Sorry, I had my mic off. No, I didn't watch WrestleMania last weekend. I thought about buying the pay-per-view, but I ended up doing something else.
Well, no, that's cool. It's the main things were the ladder match was fantastic. I don't know if you already heard who won what, so I won't give you any spoilers if you didn't. But the ladder match, and then of course the Cody Rhodes bit. Oh man, great stuff. But
Speaking
anyway,
of wrestling,
let's get back to NorCal and see. Oh, no, wait, go ahead. Yeah.
speaking of wrestling, there was a
No,
friend of
please.
mine that was so much into professional wrestling that he had over 300 DVDs of professional wrestling. And when he passed away, his parents gave me that collection. And well, I stored them in my closet at the place I was living at before. You know, the place that burned down. So, yeah, that's all
Right.
gone. Yeah, I had that exact same thing, and that was destroyed.
Really? Oh man, yeah, that's terrible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is the WrestleMania box set from the 20th anniversary. The first 20 WrestleManias are all in here. I'm gonna have to buy
Yeah,
another one just like this to get all 40.
yeah. Unfortunately, I ended up losing that.
Yeah, Parson pointed out. Yeah. Parson pointed out, and this is true. Peacock has all of it for free. If you subscribe to Peacock, you can watch all the pay-per-views.
Oh, I need to do that. I need to do
And it's
that
a lot
then.
cheaper. One pay-per-view would pay for like, yeah, Peacock is, I think it's only like 10, not even $10 a month. So one pay-per-view pays for 5 months of Peacock, and you get a pay-per-view every month. And you could go back and watch. Do you remember when they used to have the WWE Network?
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing, except now it's part of Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you automatically have access to everything. You can watch any WrestleMania, any pay-per-view ever, reruns of Raw and SmackDown. It's all there. Good stuff.
Oh, I need to do that. I need to do that.
But
That way I
anyway,
can go back to the Attitude Era.
yes. Yeah, exactly. They got all of those matches on there. Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Oh, man. Anyway, before we get too far off the rails, let's finish up this video with NorCal Cop Watch and see what other lies he has to tell about this situation with the library beatdown.
I can see Vigil and the guy over at the pillar. They're having their little talk, right? But I see that the individual is a little hostile. He's a little aggressive. And so I immediately break the conversation from her because now I need to go and back up Vigil Antioch because I need to be there just in case something happens, not necessarily to fight, but to record from an alternate angle. That's why I came up there. Now I stop about 10 feet from both of them. So I'm a little ways away. I'm not invading anybody's space. I'm not being a threat to anybody. And if you guys have seen the video, you guys see what happens. Vigil Antioch and I feel, do a really good job at remaining calm and educating this individual, explaining the laws, and de-escalating the situation. Because that's our goal, is to educate and de-escalate.
No, you're lying. You're lying. What makes you lie?
I would like to apologize, first off, for the abrupt jump cut due to the fact that, well, he was trying to plug his channel, and I wanted to get back to the story. But back to the story as we go, he's saying that they're there only to educate and de-escalate and never cause a situation to break down. But if you're seeing somebody as hostile like that and is aggressive and upset, why keep provoking them? Why not just get your friend and simply say, hey, man, let's just bail. We'll come and do this another time. There's a lot of options you had. Instead, you chose to break the law and blame everyone else but you. You're the reason you were arrested. You're the reason why you have these consequences above you.
Right? Now, the public employees from the library are the ones that come up with a policy. Oh my God, we got a policy. You can't. You got a policy. Your policy. That's what I say. These women completely blew this whole situation out in left field. We had
I'm sorry. I got to stop it there real quick. I got to stop it there once again. How did he start this whole tirade? Well, I know anything I say on here could be used against me in court, so I have to be careful what I say. They came up to me and showed me the policy. Fuck your policy. Okay.
Yeah, that could be used against them, most certainly.
So they're going to say, right? Like, dude, really? What an idiot. He's so stupid. I can't believe he broadcast himself saying that out loud. And I love the fact that these guys always say this. My job is to educate and de-escalate. No, it's not. Because if you were there to de-escalate, then when someone said, please don't film me, you would stop filming them. That would immediately squash the whole situation. Done. De-escalated, over, done. So that's not your goal. Because if your goal was to de-escalate the situation, then you would say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to film you, and then just turn your camera a little to the left. You could still educate him. You could talk to him and explain to him why you're filming. But if he asks you to stop filming him, just go like that with the camera. Just look. Wait. Hey, don't film me. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to catch you on there. I'll blur you out later. But the reason why we're filming is because First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. That would be educating and de-escalating. But please don't film me.
Yeah.
No, the law says I can film, so I'm going to keep filming whether you like it or not. That's not de-escalating. That's literally the opposite.
Yeah, really.
Right?
Definitely. I mean, if he was trying to de-escalate, he would turn the camera away. But he's not going to do that. It's all about the clicks and views and the moolah.
Exactly. And I love the fact when they like to make the argument against us that it isn't just for clicks and views and money. It's like, well, just look at the video. Forget the narration. Forget the false narrative. Forget you guys trying to spin everything to your way. Look at the video. That's what I always say. Their fans respond to their narration and their false narrative, and we respond to what actually happens in the video. And when you watch the video, what you see is they literally went out of their way not to de-escalate the situation. And their excuse is, oh, everybody else escalated everything. All you had to do was not even turn your cameras off. They didn't ask him not to film. They asked him not to film the dude who was obviously upset that they were filming him. So if they truly, really wanted de-escalation, just take your camera and turn it a little bit, just a tiny little bit to the other way so he's not on camera. I mean, I don't understand how their fans could believe that they were trying to de-escalate when they literally didn't. Just watch the video. They literally didn't do that. Giselle Stylebread's here. Katie Zed's here. Who else? Anyone else I didn't say hello to earlier? I'm not sure. Once again, anyone that I missed,
How's it going,
hello
Katie
to you
Zed?
all. So before we get back and watch the rest of this, did you have any other comments about that part of it?
No, good to go. Let's go on and finish this stupidity out, shall we?
That's right. That's why Blackheart Night is one of my favorites. I love stuff like that. Beautiful segue, Blackheart. Here we go.
Situation under control. The dude was totally listening to everything we were saying. I saw the lights turn on in his brain. He was starting to understand what we were explaining to him. And I felt like we were making a breakthrough with this guy. I felt like he was being educated. He was learning, and I felt so proud of myself and Vigilante, because that is what we set out to do. We want to educate people. Then you got these two Karens come up and just blow the whole thing up, man. And if you guys have seen the video footage, you know what happens next. I cannot talk about anything else from that point moving forward.
And we're going to end it here. The comment he made about educating people should be actually changed to misleading people, because all frauditors do are mislead people with buzzwords that make them sound like they know what they're talking about by using these case laws, but misquoting what they actually represent. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment, because it really helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. Round of applause for NCR News Network. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, boy. So I don't know, Blackheart. What do you think overall about this whole situation with this douche canoe in the library assault thing? Like your overall impressions of the whole
I
situation?
think NorCal Cop Watch is pretty well screwed in this scenario. If he's not willing to show that video that claims he's innocent, and he's willing to take it all the way to a subpoena, he's most likely in the wrong. As far as what kind of sentence he'll get if he's convicted, well, we'll have to see about that, because I don't think California looks too kindly on pepper spray being used indoors. I don't know. I haven't looked up their laws, but from what I understand, if that is true, well, he's kind of really, really screwed up.
Yes. And Donna Ray makes a good point. NorCal could be in good trouble, except in California, they don't prosecute people. And that's one of the biggest problems going on in California right now. And with that whole California crew getting away with what they get away with, is that they're so, like, I've seen this thing where in San Francisco, instead of trying to stop people from breaking into cars, they have street signs when you park saying, leave your windows open, so that the criminals don't have to go through the trouble of breaking your window to steal the stuff in your car.
Oh my goodness.
Like, really? Like, that's how bad it's getting in California now. So that's one of the reasons why these guys just do what they do, because they know the cops aren't going to do anything, because the cops don't do anything. It's like
Still probably nowhere near.
They decriminalized just about everything, even. Oh no, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not as bad as that as far as decriminalization of things, but it is to the point where, like, for example, I don't remember the exact number. I think it was $3,000. Where they made it like if you steal less than $3,000 worth of stuff, they won't even bother. So criminals are like taking calculators, going into stores and filling their cart with like $2,999 worth of stuff, and then walking out the door without paying. Can't prosecute me. It's under $3,000. Whatever. Got a couple TVs and stuff. Yeah, they're just doing it. It's insane. And hey, the cops don't do anything about it. So it's $900. Okay, so Katie's head knows what I'm talking about. So the limit is $900, right? So they'll be doing the math to do $899. Whatever. That's still enough for a couple TVs, especially nowadays. They're like $300 for a good TV.
Yeah.
And whatever else they want. It's crazy. We got to move to California. I could get this place all set up in like 5 minutes.
I'm not going to move to California.
No,
I got too many firearms with me that I wouldn't be able to take over there.
Right? And possibly be able to stop some of these criminals. But no, we don't want to stop criminals because whatever. Who knows what they're thinking out there or why they're doing it. Well, we don't get into politics here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I consider myself a gun-toting liberal for the most part, but I'm still not going to go over to California.
Right. Yeah. Again, that's exactly. But you're in Florida, so you're in the place where it's like, well, I was just there for a couple of years, so I know exactly what's going on out there. And it is, again, let's not get into the politics of it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be political myself.
Anyway, right. But again, having been there, I know exactly what you're talking about. So let's, what is this? Edward says, you can also openly poo in the streets in San Francisco. Yeah, why not? What are they going to do? Nothing, because they don't do anything. It's crazy. Katie says, that reminds me of the Sublime song, Where Do You Think I Got This Guitar That You're Hearing Today? Hey, yeah, I didn't pay for it, right? Oh, my goodness. Some people are nuts. Parson, first rule of having firearms you shouldn't have is don't announce it on the internet. That's
Yeah,
another
Goat Boy
thing.
might
What do you
just,
think of these idiots that
yeah, Goat Boy might just think I have an arsenal like a tank or something like that. I mean, all I really got is a 357, a few small arms, and maybe a 22 rifle.
right? Yeah, what's wrong with having a couple AR-15s, a rocket launcher, and yeah, exactly. They're going to take it to be like some crazy arsenal. Oh man, um, but that's the thing. Like, especially if you're someone who's not legally allowed to have a firearm, it's a bad idea to come on YouTube and show off your firearms. Like, it's some of the stupid things these people do. Oh my goodness. Hey, you want to watch an Unclean Hands video?
Yeah, let's watch Unclean Hands. I love his channel.
All right, but first of all, Katie just said, I have no firearms as far as you know. Oh, don't worry, Katie, we know. No, yeah, that's exactly. I'm not going to tell you and show you my guns on the air. No. Then you start getting into, that's a whole nother territory. Go ahead.
I'll let you know that I have them, but I'm not going to show them to you.
Right. And that's the thing. There are channels that are like gun channels that do stuff like that, but it has to be like within that. If you're just doing something like this and you just pull out a gun, that could be a major problem. I mean, that's what started the whole, if you guys remember, that's back in the day when there was this whole controversy with Dr. Dave. That was the whole thing, was he was talking to Team Skeptic. He got drunk, got mad, and showed his gun. That's almost taken not as like an educational thing, but as a threatening kind of thing. And that's where the line gets drawn. You know what I mean? Hello, Lisa. Graham, talk about firearms. My arm's on fire. I love you guys. Are so funny, right? But all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch the Unclean Hands. All right, we love Unclean Hands, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
What is happening, guys? Good to see you again, as always. Anyway, I got two auditors. One hasn't made a video for a year, and that's News Now, Wisconsin. And the other one hasn't made a video for about 2 years. As a matter of fact, he's only got one video on his channel, and it's the only one he's ever put up there. He did 3 little shorts on his channel. He goes by SEWI Transparency. I have no other idea what that means. Something to do with Wisconsin. Anyway, let's check out SUI Transparency first. All right, so he's going to spend about 15-20 minutes out here wandering around police cars, taking pictures, plate numbers, looking inside, see if the CAD's open, and all that good nonsense. So we're going to speed ahead to, there he is. There's the idiot there. We're going to speed ahead until the police come out and say, what the heck are you doing?
Nope, just taking pictures.
Take pictures of our cars?
Yeah.
Do you need our assistance with anything in the police department here?
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You too.
We don't need any assistance from us. We just can't have you walking back.
Why is that?
Our cars. I'm sorry.
Because it's creepy. You look creepy, and it's just creepy.
What?
ID with you?
No. Do I need one? For
They'll
what?
identify you.
For what? You suspect me of committing a crime?
No, sir, you are back around our vehicles. That is suspicious.
Is that a crime?
It is suspicious.
But it's suspicious of crime. In order for me to identify myself, I have to commit a crime.
Yes, these people have been doing and saying the same thing for years. It never changes. The script never changes. They never evolve. It always goes nowhere. So let's speed ahead, get beyond all this nonsense.
I've already said I'm not going to answer any questions. Am I free to leave? Is your body cam on?
Yes.
What's your name and badge number?
9067.
Thank you. That was the third time I asked you.
Yeah. Okay. And again, your name was what?
You can call me Good Citizen.
Really great stuff. The nostalgia, I tell you. Let's move ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Need help?
No, sir.
Okay. Oh, I got here last.
Who are you?
I'm sorry?
And who are you?
Sergeant Jones. Who are you?
I'm here.
You are?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
I don't answer questions.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. Is there anything we can do to help you?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else you need?
No.
All right. So you.
I'm sorry. I had to stop it real quick because two things. One, I love this comment. Look at this, Blackheart. I wonder if they would frown upon me having a trebuchet in my backyard.
Depends on the size, I suppose. If it's an actual siege engine trebuchet, probably. If you just got one that's 4 feet tall, probably not. It won't have the power to do anything.
Right, or like a little Lego one or a toy one from D&D or something.
Yeah.
But that's great. And then of course, look who else is here. Uncle Artie's bar and grill is stupid.
Oh, hi,
What's
Uncle
up,
Artie. Yeah, I haven't paid my bar tab in quite a long time. I'm sure it must be sky high by now.
He's really good at keeping those tabs. Did you hear about I was in there the other day and I had to shoot up the jukebox because he didn't have The Breeze by Leonard Skinner in there?
No, I didn't hear
Unacceptable.
about that. Yeah.
Oh, Katie Zed pointed out, well, if you want to be realistic about it, trebuchets and catapults are legal. Well, sure, you could build one, but I mean, if you're actually going to use it, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Because they're what?
I would suppose so. I mean, I haven't seen any laws that restrict the use of trebuchets and catapults, or even well, oh, dang it, I had the name of it. It was a Roman siege engine. I can't even remember the name of it right now.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. But now, yeah, I hate it when that happens, right? Like, and it could be something that you talk about or think about on a regular basis, and then when you
yes, now I remember the name of it. It was a ballista.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Cool Clearwater said it too. All right. Thank you so much, Cool Clearwater. All right. Here we go. This is for Cool Clearwater. Yes. The ballista. Exactly. Good stuff. Cannons are also legal. Don't ask how I know. Well, this is the thing. When it comes to big siege engines and things like that, I think that owning them in and of itself may not be illegal because, I mean, there are a lot of people who would try to like do a build of something like that just to see like what it was like in the old days or whatever. I think anytime you would use something like that, there are already laws that would cover that because of the damage you're causing in and of itself would be illegal. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably why there aren't necessarily laws against the devices themselves, because if you use them, the damage they cause is already going to be illegal.
And a trebuchet is more of a fortification destroyer. It's not exactly anti-personnel for the most part, unless you attach something that has the plague wrapped around it, then throw it behind the wall.
Yeah. Right. Or like they used to do in, way back with the Mongols taking the plague victims and shooting them up over the wall so that they'll spread plague to all the people on the other side of the wall. Oh, good old days. Let's see. Play my ladies. Oh, Uncle Artie begging me to play his video again. Hey, you didn't play any of my chili videos last night. You thought I wasn't watching because I didn't say anything in the comments, but that's because I was listening to Goose while your show was on. And you were doing all chili stuff, but you didn't do any of my chili videos. So anyway, let's get back to the video and finish this sucker up, see what else this idiot has to say. And real quick before I go back to it, I like the idea of what Unclean is doing here is he's showing these really old videos just to kind of illustrate how these frauditors have not barely evolved at all. And they've been using the same nonsense arguments for years now. What do you think about the idea of him going back and doing that? 'Cause I kind of like the way he's doing it here.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how it works out. If the script is the old script is to me, it just needs to be updated. They need to try some new things. I mean, give us a challenge. Give us something more to debunk. Give us something anyway. Don't use the same old BS.
Right. And then in the few times that they actually do attempt to do something different, it becomes something that's ridiculous. Like, do you know what the Third Amendment is? Oh, you mean the one that hasn't been used in over 100 years? Sure. But to me, that argument is like, in and of their argument about the Third Amendment actually proves them wrong, because they always say, if you don't use your rights, you'll lose them. Nobody repealed the Third Amendment, and nobody uses that anymore.
And technically, the Prohibition Amendment is still on the books, but it was rendered null and void by other amendments. So that alone right there,
that's the thing.
It also shoots holes into their logic right there, because if it shows that the amendment, that the rights can be taken away, but it's not done that often, but only when necessary. Like, because prohibition was such a bloody stupid idea to begin with.
Right, but that's the thing, and Ray has pointed this out before too on here, is that if you don't use your rights, you'll lose them. To lose them, it literally takes an act of Congress, a constitutional amendment, which is a big freaking deal. Like,
yeah, really,
they're not going to repeal an amendment, and it's not going to be a big thing. Anyway,
this is something they don't think about because they don't read the bloody Constitution. They don't know what it takes to actually repeal that amendment. I mean, but of course, that's part of one of the issues with our country. A lot of people who didn't get that education.
Yes, and I think that's a big part of the reason why most of these guys have a following at all, right? Is because there's so many people who don't know, And again, they fall for this false narrative that these guys build in their videos. They believe the lies and the circular logic and the illogical logic, the unreasonable reasoning, and all this nonsense that they do in building their narratives for their stories. And they don't know any better, especially the sovereign citizens. It seems to me that the only people who actually believe in the sovereign citizen ideal are people who have some sort of naive, there's something in their education that's lacking.
To Edward, I would like to say they haven't stopped teaching civics in school. In fact, yesterday I was in a class where the teacher was teaching civics to his students. So there might be some schools that have dropped it, but overall, no. In fact, I've been in other classes where the teacher has taught civics. So it just might be the fact that some people just don't pay attention.
A lot of people don't pay attention. That's a fact. But it is true. Like every school district is different because like you have your federal standards for certain things that you have to have. And then there's other things like I've known certain schools, like with my kids, because over the years, we've moved a few times and they've been to a few different schools. Right now, my son plays trombone. He plays slide trombone in the school band. But there was a point in between where he was in a school where they didn't even have a music program at all. It's like there's certain schools that have things that they do and other things they don't. And some of them just stick to Common Core. Some of them have other things. So it really does depend on the district. So like you said, it is possible that he's thinking of a school where they don't have any civics classes. So I don't know. But the point is, it's not standard that everyone has to take certain classes anymore. And that's right. Another one news is here. All right. Good to see you. Hit that like button. That's right. What I'm talking about. And of course, Frauditor Mania showed up calling me a tyrant. What else is he going to do? Speaking of tyrants, hey, why don't we look at some frauditors? Because they're the real tyrants. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Future Glenn Miller with the trombone has, yes. Listen to some Glenn Miller. Oh, yeah. And with the trombone, Glenn Miller always had where they put the end of the, at the time, just the end of the plunger and on the trombones. Oh, that was always so smooth. I love that. Oh, you mean back to the video? All right, yeah. I'm sorry. I love music. Don't get me started. All right, let's go.
Just standing here for.
Well, he told me I couldn't go anywhere.
Because
I don't know. I asked him if I was free to leave. But then I asked him if I was free to leave, and he said no, I wasn't.
Because at that point, I was consulting with my supervisor, advising him of the situation we had at hand. That's it.
Okay. Are you ready to go?
I was walking out of here when two cars came up on here when they told me to, ask me some couple questions.
Oh, come on. You were wandering around the parking lot. You focused in on that guy till you got his attention. You get out of his car and he asked you if he could help you. You just stop lying.
Okay. What was the questions? I mean,
if I needed anything or what I was doing, what I was, they told me I was being suspicious.
Different suspicious details.
They didn't say different.
We can help you with?
No, sir.
It's okay. Most people come here for help. So that's why.
Oh, I understand.
Okay.
It's a police department. I understand what it's for.
All right, but you're good?
I'm good.
All right. Enjoy yourself.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
I know. Pretty mind-blowing stuff going on there 2 years ago. No wonder he only made one video and gave up. He wasn't very good at it. Wasn't very good at it at all. Anyway, let's move on to news now. Wisconsin going to the post. I don't know where he's going. Anyway, we'll find out. Let's check it out. I think he's going to the post office. I'll stick with that. The post office, that's where it's going to happen.
Police department's right there.
I can stand up for him. I don't see any transactions being filmed there.
Right over here is the post office. So we're going to do some post office.
Check this out, guys. I'm going inside now. I'm gonna breach the perimeter. I'm going in and I'm gonna investigate this post office. There's Post 7. There's some P.O. boxes. You never seen one of them, have you? You can rent them every month. You can rent them. They're really cool. You can put stuff in them and mail goes in them. Oh, somebody left their package. It was too big for the box. They left it on the floor. Should I pick it up? Should I take it with me? Nah, probably better not. I'm not that stupid. Where are the pamphlets? Oh, there they are. Oh, good God, I ain't seen pamphlets forever. That's just fantastic. Let me go in here and see if I can bother some people, because that's kind of like what I like to do. I'm just a bothersome kind of guy. Oh, come on, more pamphlets. Yes, look at that. You can change your address. You can get a pamphlet here. You can get a pamphlet there. Look at all the pamphlets, the cards, the pamphlets. There's people in there. I'm not bothering nobody. I ain't doing nothing. I'm minding my own business. Anyway, let's get back to the real journalist here.
They're talking about me.
Oh, what happened, sir?
Huh?
Are you making some video?
Yes.
Why?
I can't say right now. I'm working on a story.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm a journalism, and I'm making a secret story, and I can't tell you anything about it because it's like super duper top secret. And when I publish the story, you'll never find it because I'm not going to tell you where it's going.
Yeah.
The one thing I do have to ask is that you don't film.
I have no reason to do that. That's why I'm back here.
But I just have to ask you, just don't zoom.
Zoom in. They're at an angle and they're way down there.
For their privacy, though, I do want to get that.
I have no.
Okay.
I do not want their stuff.
I'll do the, but it's just the credit card.
And who are you?
My name is Harriet.
Well, are you postmaster or just a supervisor?
But I'm the lead clerk today.
Okay.
And no, you can film, but I just have to protect.
Yeah, that's why I'm standing back here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm standing back here.
Yes, even 2 years ago, these guys were both pointless and boring. This one's a year old. They were boring and pointless back then, too. They remained boring and pointless to this day.
So now she's, after saying that it's okay, now she's calling the cops on me. Not the first
You want
time.
to get the post office shut down or what? Like,
Did I say that?
what could you possibly reason have?
I am making a documentary of Antioch, Illinois, all the public places. That's why I'm standing here. I was saying nothing until you two came in and started. Then I started saying something.
One lady was personally upset with you. You just said you're making a public documentary of Antioch, Illinois. The lady asked what you were doing.
And she was told earlier,
So hard to say, hey,
before you came in, she knew what I was doing. Because you were not here when she was told what I was doing by her boss right there.
Uh-oh. I just realized I've done this video before. I remember him getting in a fight with them two guys, getting in an argument with him. Anyway, I think he's going to get kicked out of the post office here after a while. So let's zoom ahead to that.
Her boss told her what I was doing. Then you two came in, and then you got the ball rolling of, oh my God, look at, he's got a camera. Oh my God.
Yeah, just like everybody else in here sees the camera too.
Yeah, what about the camera that's on the wall there, the camera on the wall there, the camera on the wall there, and there's probably one right there. What about those?
What about those?
Those are filming you. You're not having a fit about those.
No, we're not.
Because we know that they're going to be here in the building.
Blah, blah, blah. Moving on to the cops.
Now you're going to come out and film my car.
Yep.
Okay.
There's the cops right there. There's the cops right there.
That's cool.
Tell them that I'm filming your plate. Public plate.
That's cool.
But they are.
Yes, sir.
What?
You wait just a minute. This officer's going to come up up here and he's going to uphold his oath and he's going to tell you that I can film your place anytime I want. I can get into an argument with you inside the building, then I can come outside and follow you around the building and take pictures of your car and stalk you, and that's completely legal and there's nothing you can do about it. And when you're gone, I'll still be standing here taking pictures of the parking lot.
You film my shit and I see it online? Oh, you good.
This guy's being a real ass.
Yeah, come over here.
I did nothing. I was quiet. Are you detaining me?
No, I'm asking you to come
Okay, then I'm
over
gonna
here.
go.
No, come here, sir. At this point, you are being detained.
For what crime?
Because they're
For what
saying
crime?
that you're harassing
She
people.
gave me permission. Then she got done when these two guys came in.
You were harassing those.
Because everyone in
staying
there
here
is
for now
wondering
to
what you're doing.
Yep, I definitely did this video before. I apologize if you're watching it for the second time for no apparent reason. Anyway, might as well finish it now. We'll get right to the end.
And then
I'm not doing anything illegal.
You're not filming us, but then you come out and you film my fucking car. Stay right here. I'm telling you right now, you're not free to leave. We're investigating this.
Don't touch me.
Then stop moving.
I didn't do anything illegal. What are you detaining me for?
Well, it sounds to me
What
like
are you
it's
detaining me for?
conduct.
What are you detaining me for?
You're allowing me to serve these people. You're causing a breach of peace.
I was just over at your police station.
I understand. Stay here. You are not free to leave.
I'm getting out of the road.
Okay, let's go stand on the sidewalk.
There's no crime committed. I'm allowed to do this.
Are you familiar with disorderly conduct, sir?
So that's what you guys do just when you can't get nothing else.
There's a ordinance on disorderly conduct. There's
I went in. I was quiet.
Okay.
The lady, the supervisor said to the lady, he has the right to do it. Those two guys came in and started everything going, and I tried to tell them, leave me alone, let me do what I'm doing. Just leave me alone, let me do what I'm doing.
And what are you doing?
Videotaping.
For what purpose?
Documentary for Antioch, Illinois.
Okay. And that includes videotaping people's transactions?
I wasn't doing any transactions. I never do transactions. I know what I can do when I can't do.
Okay, so the complaint started with you videotaping people's transactions.
No, because she had said to me, the manager, don't do the transaction. I said I don't plan on it. That's why I'm staying way back here. I was way in the back. There's no way I could have got any transactions.
I've got to vouch for him. I don't see him filming towards the counter with anybody with their paperwork in their hand, holding it up there where he could accidentally catch it on camera, put it on his channel. Somebody could zoom in on it and get these people's confidential information. No, that couldn't possibly happen. He didn't do it on purpose.
Okay. And then what happened to these people here?
They came in and just started bitching about me having a camera.
Because they didn't want to be recorded?
No, not them. They were worried about the people in there. And I already had permission from I guess she was a supervisor. I think she said, the older lady. And then the other lady said, I feel uncomfortable. She took her in the back and said, he's allowed to do it. Leave it alone. Then these two came in. Okay. And it all started, they started, fuck you, and you're an ass, and leave these people alone. Why are you harassing them? I didn't say nothing. Okay. I said nothing.
Are you trying to make people uncomfortable?
No, I'm trying to get my footage and get out of here so I can go to my next one. I did you guys, I did the fire department, y'all passed. Now I got to come over here and see.
Okay. And were you just trying to hit every building in Antioch, or what's
yes, every public building in Antioch, yes, where I'm allowed to film in public anybody because there's no expectation of privacy. And they do have a law here for photography.
Is that the employees here were very uncomfortable with you filming? They, like I already said, they felt like you were filming transactions. The customers felt, some of the customers felt like you were filming transactions. They understand that you have a right to film in there, being that it's a government building, but that's where they feel like it crossed the line. Okay.
Am I still detained? Okay.
Let me finish and you be leave. Okay.
Can I leave? You can leave. Okay.
All right.
That's all she wrote, folks. That's all we're gonna do today. I do apologize again for showing the same video twice. Remind me never to do that again. It's almost like they don't come up with anything original, so they get all mixed up in my head. I can't tell when it's a new one or an old one. Anyway, that guy don't make videos anymore either. Neither one of them do. A couple of idiots gave up on it because it was stupid. Anyway, you all have a fantastic day now. We love y'all. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for the one and only Unclean Hands. All right.
But a good job.
Oh my goodness. So, yes. So, one of the things that came up there that well, there were a couple things that I like to talk about, but one of the biggest beefs that I make, and I want to get your opinion on this, is this idea, and I always say, like, when they say I'm working on a story. Well, according to their own argument, the story they're working on is they want to see how people react to them. And then when people react to them, they get mad at them for interrupting them trying to film a story. But the story they're filming is the reaction.
Yeah. Like, that's all it is.
Right?
There's no story that they're trying to get a hold of. I mean, every time they go into a building, saying that, "Oh, I'm just here to get information on what services you offer," that's available on the internet, or if anybody in the general wants to know what services they offer, anybody can go in and ask. I mean, it's not exactly
Right.
newsworthy stuff to just walk into like a public works department and ask and do that kind of thing. I mean, I found I didn't exactly know what public works was until a few years ago, and I looked it up on the internet, and it's a holdover from the New Deal from FDR's time in office, where for infrastructure. So, yeah, easily available to look up. You don't need these frauditors to antagonize people and claim to get information that's readily available.
Right, exactly. Past Unremembered is back, ladies and gentlemen, and they're here to officially announce they're uploading a video right now. All right. Round of applause for Past Unremembered. We love Past Unremembered, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's right. Yeah, but like what we were just talking about is this whole idea of like when somebody reacts to them, sometimes they will argue, how I'm here working on a story and you're getting in the way and you're destroying my story. But their own argument is that the story they're working on is the reaction they get. So how could the person giving them a reaction be getting in the way of their story when the reaction is the story? Like it's
Their
so
arguments
well,
never
like
make
everything
any
they say is illogical logic. No, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed to Past Unremembered, get on it. Run, don't walk over there and subscribe. They are awesome. I love the way that they break everything down on a truly, deeper. I mean, they have a sense of humor, but they tend to be more towards the logical, like really down and dirty, like serious take on what these people do and why they're wrong when they are wrong. I really like the way they do that. What do you think of Past Unremembered Unclean? Or yeah, sorry, we just watched an Unclean video.
Hands, yeah.
Black Hart.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I like their channel. Very good. Very well put together videos.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. Great stuff. Can't wait to see your new one. So, what are you working on right now? And by the way, Blackheart.
I don't have any. I've only got one video plan out right now. I've got to go go later on into my sock account and see what's been uploaded for the day from any of the auditors. See what they're doing. And it's a pain in the ass search to see if there's anything out there that's any good. Most of the time, there's nothing there. I mean, you see they're just standing there with a camera until you get the one that's causing trouble.
Right. And that is true. That's one of the things, like, for me, when I'm sifting through all these videos trying to find something, and it's actually getting more and more rare. It's weird. It's like there's more and more idiots out there doing this, but it's more and more rare that a video pops up that there's something that like just grabs me, like, oh, I gotta cover this one. It's like, oh yeah, same idiots in the same place making the same arguments. Whoop de
Well,
doo, you
now
know,
that there have been more
and it's
consequences
so
to the actions that they're
repetitive with
taking,
them.
it's becoming harder and harder for us to even see with them to actually cause any problems, because now they're experiencing more consequences as a result of their actions. So they're not putting as
Right.
much content as they would used to. And in fact, as far as my channel goes, I'm probably going to start in the next year or so moving on to different things, because I do believe that this First Amendment auditor craze has reached its peak and is starting to die down. And I've already got another channel that I'm going to be starting content on that's based more around sci-fi shows than anything else. So yeah, I do believe First Amendment auditing will still be around, uh, where people are annoying the average citizen and government workers. But as time goes on and the laws start to make it harder for them, it's not going to be nearly as prevalent as it has been.
Right. Well, I remember a few years ago, I actually because I started with the sovereign citizen thing, and then slowly started moving more and more into the First Amendment auditing. But then I was actually behind the scenes, I was starting to get more into going back to doing my comedy biscuits and maybe getting more into Karens and Darrens and all that stuff, because I felt and this was a long time ago, that the whole auditing thing was dying. But then as soon as the pandemic hit, these guys just blew up. And instead of it dying down and being gone 2 years ago, that just brought it back, because they all were mad about the mask mandates, and they were all mad about this, and they were all mad about that. And it just grew from there. And so it was whoa, now it's even bigger. But again, like you say, now that the police and the laws are starting to crack down on these guys, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Chili's locked up now. We got DMA convicted. There's more and more convictions coming down the pipe. So yeah, that is what it is. So
hydrogen monoxide. I pulled that little trick out on one of my students the other day, and they fell for it. How about you sign a petition to get rid of dihydrogen monoxide out of our rivers, oceans, and streams and everything like that? Oh yeah, sign me up.
That's awesome. Well, what are you gonna do? That's a good way to teach, though. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh yeah, and it's weird, because as an adult and as someone who's been a teacher myself, I get that and I like that. But I also remember as a kid, I hated that, because they'd ask these trick questions and I'd be like, oh yeah, yeah. And it's oh, wait a minute. What is he actually saying? No, wait a minute, buddy. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hez is scared to play my latest video. No, Uncle Artie. I already told you earlier, you didn't play any of my chili videos on your chili special that was on for 12 hours last night. Is it still live? Did you ever even end it? No, were you going to say, Blackheart?
I was just laughing.
Oh, right. Oh dear. Let me see what his most recent video is. Is it another? It's the what I'm talking about, right? No, there's no way he wants me to play a 14-hour video. Oh, this is the one. I don't know. I just look at the thumbnail and I see. Well, okay. I'll play it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play the video. It's real short. And then after that, go check out Past Unremembered's new video that they're probably going to be premiering right now. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick little video from the one and only Uncle Artie Sparkle of Stupidity. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Let's go.
Chili Castro. I am a journalist who has been jailed for filming a cop.
You want to know why? 'Cause I'm a liar!
As humbly as I can ask, please go to my GoFundMe, and if you can put in $5 or $10, I really appreciate it because.
See, I like 1,000 because I know I got you. I got you in the faith.
I have no criminal record. I'm an innocent man in the Clark County Detention Center for being a journalist.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe. Do it now, or I'll hunt you down. Smash like, subscribe.
You're muted, Hez.
Dagnabbit. Yeah. Anyway, that was great. I love the way that he actually pulled up Chili's criminal record.
Oh yeah.
Well, what I've realized about him is that he doesn't count anything that's not a felony as a crime. Because it's true that he has no felony convictions, but he says, I have none at all. It's like, no, that's not true. You're a liar. Oh, yeah. Like Henry Rollins said, right? Oh, my goodness. So I think we're going to pretty much wrap it up there. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out the new Past Unremembered video. Yes, yes, yes. They are awesome. We love Past Unremembered. And, of course, don't forget to check out Blackheart Night, Uncle Artie's Bar and Grill of Stupidity, and CR News Network. Any last words you want to say to the peoples before we wrap it up?
Thank you for having me on the show today, Hez. Much appreciated. And I appreciate everybody that came here to watch, Hez. You are what makes Hez's channel great.
Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. You, the fans, are the ones who make this channel great. Thank you, Takedown, for coming and seeing. And thank you, of course, Blackheart Night, for being here. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, 3 cheers for Blackheart Night. And 3 cheers for you guys, the best fans in the world. And, of course, round of applause for everybody involved and all the great supporters of the channel and all the great creators. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. And I will see you guys, all y'all guys, on the next one. Or, you know what? Yeah, that's your outro. So why don't you say it like you do your outro on your videos?
Okay, okay then. Until next time, I will see you guys on the next one.
All right. Thanks a lot, Blackheart, for being here. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all next time. And like I always say at the end of the show, I didn't bring the Elvis gnome with me from Florida, but I still got the picture. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm all shook up.
Went in, and I bent down and I petted him, and all of a sudden, you heard this. And back up. So the tiger did. He slowly got up and backed out. Went in, and I bent down and I petted him, and all of a sudden you heard this like that. So the trainer says, get up very slowly and back up. So the tiger did. He slowly got up and backed out.